There are moments in life when we feel a desperate need to belong, to be accepted, to be surrounded by people who validate our existence. But my friend, understand this, not everyone who is near you is with you. Not everyone who surrounds you strengthens you. We often feel that being alone is painful, but the greater pain is living among people who drain us, people who dim our light, people who only take and never give. Empty souls, the ones who lack purpose, vision, and intention, are like hollow vessels. They might look whole, they might speak as if they know where they're going, but they carry nothing inside. They are empty because they have no commitment to growth, no dedication to truth, no desire for progress. And when you keep them close, they start to make you feel empty too. They fill your mind with doubts, plant seeds of insecurity, and convince you that staying close to them is your only option. There's a myth that loneliness is the greatest fear, but the greatest danger is losing yourself by trying to belong to a group that doesn't feed your soul. Just because people are around you does not mean they are for you. Just because they speak words of comfort doesn't mean their presence brings peace. When you compromise your spirit to keep empty souls around, you're building a life on sinking sand. And when the storms come, and they always come, you will find yourself standing alone in ruins. My friend, you have to guard your heart, guard your energy, and protect the vision that God has given you. When you are on a journey of purpose, you have to choose wisely who you allow to walk beside you. Some people will leave you because they cannot bear the weight of your dreams. Let them go. Some will try to discourage you, to mock your commitment. Let them talk. And some will pretend to support you, but secretly they envy you. Let them reveal themselves. When you let go of the empty souls, you make room for those who truly understand, who truly believe, who are truly committed. Better to walk alone on a path that leads somewhere than to travel with a crowd heading nowhere. Better to endure the silence than to tolerate the noise of people who are not aligned with your destiny. The path of greatness is often lonely because few have the courage to walk it. So embrace the solitude if it means keeping your peace. Embrace the quiet if it means preserving your vision. Sometimes the blessing is not in finding new people. Sometimes the blessing is in learning that you are enough on your own. In this life, we crave connection. We crave a sense of belonging, the feeling of having people around us who truly understand and support us. But understand that there is a profound difference between companionship and mere proximity. Many people can be near you, share space with you, even speak words that sound like support, yet they are not truly with you. They may not hold a true commitment to your growth, nor a genuine investment in your journey. When you align yourself with people based only on their presence, you mistake closeness for connection and proximity for loyalty. But true companionship is a rare, sacred bond that goes far beyond physical presence or casual association. True companions are those who not only walk with you, but also stand by you, especially when the path gets rough. They are the ones who celebrate your victories without jealousy, who encourage your growth without feeling threatened, and who support your dreams without silently undermining them. The tragedy is that we often hold on to those who are close yet not truly aligned with us because we fear loneliness. But loneliness with empty souls around you is more painful than solitude because it breeds disappointment, frustration, and self-doubt. To surround yourself with people who are indifferent to your vision, or worse, who secretly resent it, is to risk being torn down from the inside. True companionship will lift you, challenge you, inspire you to go further. Anything less is not just unhelpful, it's a dangerous distraction. When you have people around you who are only near in body but far in spirit, they create an illusion of support. They show up, they smile, they speak, but their intentions and hearts are not invested. And when you face trials, when you're tested, you'll find that these people are the first to walk away. Proximity alone does not build bonds that endure. Proximity does not create loyalty. So do not be afraid to assess those around you, to look beyond who simply occupy space in your life and recognize who truly uplifts you. When you can distinguish true companionship from mere proximity, you free yourself to walk with those who are not just near but truly for you. Empty souls. They are everywhere, appearing like friends, companions, even allies. But look closer and you'll see they're just hollow vessels, carrying nothing but their own insecurities and doubts. When you allow empty souls into your life, they become like anchors pulling you down, not because they are malicious, but because they lack the substance to rise. They have no vision, no passion, no drive. And by keeping them close, you start to feel the weight of their emptiness. Empty souls are people who have not yet discovered their purpose, who drift through life without intention or commitment to growth. They don't know where they're going, and because of that, they can't help you reach where you need to go. They take from your energy, your focus, your spirit, and leave you with a sense of heaviness and confusion. You may find yourself questioning your own dreams, doubting your own abilities, wondering if your path is worth it all because of the silent, persistent influence of people who are not driven by the same hunger, the same purpose as you. These are people who might say they support you, but their presence around you doesn't breathe life into your goals. Instead, they cloud your vision, subtly planting seeds of doubt. They might even appear to cheer for you, but pay attention because their actions, their energy, their spirit do not reflect true encouragement. They might even laugh when you struggle or stay silent in your moments of victory. It's not that they intend to harm you. Often, they don't even realize the effect they have. But by staying close to them, you start to internalize their emptiness, to feel it within yourself. You must understand, when you keep empty souls near you, you start to become like them. Their lack of direction and their apathy toward life's potential can make you second guess the fire inside you. They drain the energy that should be directed toward your dreams, filling that space with doubt and aimlessness. By staying connected to them, you might even begin to adopt their habits, to mimic their complacency, to accept mediocrity as normal. Empty souls will not bring you higher. They will simply pull you into a cycle of unfulfilled potential. To protect your spirit, to safeguard your vision, you must release the empty souls from your life. It is not a matter of judgment. It is a matter of survival. You were created to carry light, to make a difference, to achieve things that go beyond what is ordinary. But if you surround yourself with those who are indifferent to growth, who dismiss greatness, who cannot understand or support the dreams within you, you will find your spirit weaken and your potential unfulfilled. The weight of their emptiness is one you were never meant to carry. So release them and watch as your purpose begins to thrive again, free from the anchors of empty souls. The greatest tragedy is not loneliness. It is the slow, subtle loss of who you are in an attempt to belong to people who were never meant to be in your life. When you surround yourself with those who don't value growth, purpose, or vision, you are not just compromising your time, you are compromising your very identity. You're shifting who you are to fit into their expectations, their comfort zones, their lack of ambition. Little by little, you lose touch with the dreams that once ignited your spirit. You begin to quiet your own voice, to shrink your aspirations, to fit into the narrow space they offer you. It is a dangerous thing to seek validation from people who have no respect for what you bring to the table. When you adjust your dreams to fit the mold of others, you are handing over control of your life to people who may not even understand your worth. They may never see the potential you hold because their own vision is limited. And as you change yourself to accommodate them, as you sacrifice parts of who you are to fit in, you may wake up one day feeling like a stranger to yourself. This slow erosion of self is more painful, more destructive than any loneliness could ever be. Because loneliness might isolate you physically, but compromising yourself disconnects you from the very essence of who you are. It's like chipping away at your own soul, piece by piece, as you try to make yourself more digestible for people who are not aligned with your purpose. The more you compromise, the more you lose your unique gifts, the things that make you powerful, and the passion that drives you. And without realizing it, you become a diluted version of yourself, a shadow of the person you were created to be. When you live for the acceptance of people who are disconnected from your purpose, you are building your life on unstable ground. You're investing your energy into relationships that do not serve you, that do not help you grow, and that do not challenge you to become better. You start to silence your voice, to dim your own light, and eventually you may even lose sight of your original vision. In the end, you find yourself adrift without the foundation of your own values, passions, or goals, and the people you once tried so hard to please. They will not be there to rebuild you. The journey of purpose demands authenticity. It requires that you remain true to who you are, even if that means standing alone. When you compromise your spirit to keep certain people in your life, you're paying a price far higher than you realize. You may feel temporarily accepted, but you will find yourself spiritually and emotionally empty. Your gifts will lie dormant and your potential will go unrealized, all because you surrendered who you were to fit in with people who didn't have the capacity to recognize your value. Understand this: true belonging is never found in compromising yourself for others' comfort. True belonging comes from embracing who you are fully, even if that means walking alone. It's far better to stand alone with your integrity intact than to join a crowd that makes you doubt your own worth. Your purpose, your dreams, and your inner peace are too precious to sacrifice for fleeting acceptance. Stay true to who you are, and the right people, those who value and support your growth, will come into your life in time. You have something precious within you, something that deserves protection: your heart, your energy, your vision. These aren't things to be handed over carelessly or allowed to be diminished by those who do not respect their worth. When you walk a path of purpose, when you're committed to growth and greatness, you must become a guardian of your own spirit. Not everyone deserves access to your life, and not everyone has earned the right to share in your journey. Protecting your heart, your energy, and your vision is an act of self-respect, a recognition of the unique gift that has been placed within you. There are people who will see your ambition, your dreams, your dedication, and feel uncomfortable. They might feel threatened by the way you strive to live with purpose. Rather than applauding your courage, they may attempt to pull you back down to a level they're comfortable with. They might sow seeds of doubt, telling you that your dreams are unrealistic, that you're asking for too much, that you need to come back to reality. These people do not see the fullness of your potential, nor do they understand the call on your life. But if you allow them too close, if you take their words to heart, they can begin to shape your path in ways that lead you away from your purpose. Protecting your vision means learning to say no to those who don't support it. It means setting boundaries with people who drain your energy, who bring chaos instead of peace, who only take without ever giving. Not everyone who smiles at you is truly invested in your growth. Not everyone who calls you friend has your best interests at heart. Some people are drawn to your light, but only because they are looking for a way to relieve their own darkness. They may try to take from your energy to fuel their own lack of direction. If you aren't vigilant, they can consume your focus, divert your energy, and distract you from the path that's meant for you. Guarding your heart is not an act of isolation, it's an act of wisdom. When you guard your heart, you are choosing to keep it safe from those who would misuse it, who would trample on your dreams, who would take advantage of your kindness. This doesn't mean closing yourself off to the world, but it does mean discerning who truly deserves a place in your life. It means choosing to walk with people who believe in you, who remind you of your strength, who inspire you to keep moving forward. There will be those who understand your vision, who appreciate your energy, who see the value in the dreams you carry. These are the people who challenge you to grow, who lift you when you fall, who remind you of your purpose when you're weary. These people are rare, but they are the ones worth allowing into your heart. They won't drain you, they will replenish you. They won't cast doubt on your dreams, they will encourage you to dream bigger. And they won't ask you to compromise who you are for their comfort. They will embrace you fully as you are. To guard your heart, your energy, and your vision is to honor the path that has been set for you. It's a commitment to staying true to your purpose, even if that means releasing people who cannot support it. It's a recognition that not everyone can accompany you on this journey, and that's okay. Those who genuinely value your growth, who cherish your vision, who respect your energy, they will be drawn to you naturally. Until then, have the courage to guard your heart fiercely, to protect your spirit fully, and to hold on to your vision with both hands. Only then will you be free to walk confidently toward the life you were meant to live. There is a strength that comes from standing alone, from finding yourself in moments of solitude. It's in those moments when no one else is around to influence you that you begin to truly know yourself. Alone, you discover the depth of your own resilience, the power of your thoughts, and the dreams that are uniquely yours. When you're constantly surrounded by people who don't understand your purpose or support your journey, their voices can drown out your own inner wisdom. But in solitude, you have the space to hear your own voice clearly. You have the freedom to listen to your heart, to connect with your true desires, and to build an unbreakable foundation within yourself. Many people fear being alone because they mistake solitude for loneliness. But there's a profound difference between the two. Loneliness is the absence of company. Solitude is the presence of self. In solitude, you are not lacking, you are becoming. You are refining, learning, and aligning yourself with the vision and purpose that were placed within you. It's in these moments that you have the opportunity to explore your passions, to clarify your goals, and to strengthen your inner resolve. Solitude isn't a sign of emptiness, it's a testament to your capacity to stand strong in your own identity without needing validation from others. When you embrace solitude, you become more discerning. You start to see with clarity who is truly meant to be part of your life and who is simply a distraction. You begin to notice which relationships drain you and which ones inspire you. Solitude teaches you to recognize the difference between meaningful connections and superficial attachments. And once you learn this distinction, you can choose your relationships wisely, surrounding yourself only with those who respect your purpose, who value your energy, and who believe in your vision. Solitude also reveals the things you may have been running from in yourself. It brings to the surface the fears, doubts, and insecurities that often go unnoticed in the noise of company. But rather than seeing these things as weaknesses, solitude allows you to confront them with courage. When you have no one else to rely on, you find strength within. You learn to trust yourself, to overcome self-doubt, and to build confidence in your own abilities. Solitude gives you the chance to face your own imperfections and to grow from them, making you stronger and more grounded in who you are. It's in the quiet moments that your dreams become clearer. Without the influence of others' opinions, you have the freedom to envision the life you truly want. You realize that your dreams don't need to make sense to anyone else. They only need to resonate with you. Solitude strips away the expectations of others, allowing you to connect with the dreams that are uniquely yours, that speak to your heart and ignite your passion. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself, to justify your path, or to compromise your goals. Instead, you can fully commit to your vision, knowing it is aligned with your purpose. Embracing solitude isn't just about being alone. It's about building a relationship with yourself that is so strong, so rooted in truth, that you become unshakable. You no longer seek validation from others because you have found validation within. You no longer fear judgment because you have come to accept yourself fully. And you no longer need the approval of others to pursue your dreams because you have become your own source of support, your own voice of encouragement. In solitude, you cultivate a strength that cannot be taken away. You develop a sense of self that remains unbreakable, even in the face of criticism, even when others doubt you, even when you stand alone. This is the strength that allows you to walk boldly toward your purpose without compromise, without fear, and without the need for constant reassurance. Solitude doesn't weaken you, it prepares you for greatness. It grounds you in your own truth, empowers you to trust yourself, and enables you to carry your vision forward with confidence. So do not fear solitude. Embrace it as a time of growth, a time of clarity, and a time of strengthening. Recognize that it's in these moments alone that you are building the foundation for the life you were meant to live. Solitude is not an absence, it is a powerful presence, the presence of your true self, fully realized, fully accepted, and fully empowered to pursue the dreams within you. Choosing solitude over empty connections requires courage because the world often tells us that more is better, more friends, more relationships, more connections. But the truth is, more is not always meaningful. Surrounding yourself with people who add no real value to your life is not a sign of success, it's a distraction from your true path. When you allow people into your life who do not align with your purpose, you create unnecessary weight, a heaviness that holds you back from reaching the potential you carry within. These connections can cloud your vision, drain your energy, and keep you entangled in places that don't nurture your spirit or inspire your growth. True courage is recognizing that it's better to walk alone than to stay connected to people who only bring negativity, chaos, or doubt. It takes courage to break away from the comfort of familiarity, even when that familiarity doesn't serve your highest good. It's easy to keep people around just because they're there, to avoid facing the solitude that comes from setting boundaries. But courage means saying, I choose growth over comfort, purpose over popularity. You decide to prioritize quality over quantity because you understand that the people who truly belong in your life will never require you to compromise who you are or what you stand for. When you choose solitude over empty connections, you are also choosing to protect your peace. Peace is priceless as the foundation that allows you to think clearly, to act with intention, and to pursue your dreams without unnecessary interference. Empty connections disrupt that peace. They bring unnecessary drama, unneeded conflict, and constant distractions that drain your focus. If you allow people to rob you of your peace, you're giving them control over your path. But if you have the courage to let go of these shallow relationships, you gain the freedom to cultivate a life of purpose where peace reigns and you can focus on what truly matters. Choosing solitude is also an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you value yourself enough not to waste your time, your energy, or your heart on people who don't value you. Self-respect means recognizing that you deserve relationships that uplift you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you. When you choose solitude over empty connections, you are setting a standard. You are saying, I am worthy of meaningful connections and I will not settle for less. And this standard creates space for people who truly respect, support, and understand you to enter your life. There is a deep wisdom in knowing when to walk away. It takes strength to recognize that not every connection is worth holding on to, and that sometimes holding on to the wrong people will only delay your journey. When you choose solitude over empty connections, you are freeing yourself from the burden of others' limitations and allowing yourself to rise to your full potential. You're creating room for growth, for new opportunities, and for the right people to come into your life. This choice isn't always easy, but it's essential if you're committed to a path of purpose and authenticity. When you have the courage to walk alone, you become selective with your energy. You don't give it away freely to people who don't appreciate it. You recognize that your time, your heart, and your dreams are valuable, and you protect them fiercely. You become intentional about who you allow into your life, understanding that not everyone deserves a place at your table. This courage creates a life where every relationship you invest in is a relationship that supports your purpose, respects your growth, and encourages your vision. Choosing solitude over empty connections isn't a rejection of people, it's an affirmation of self. It's a commitment to live authentically, even if that means standing alone. It's a bold declaration that you would rather walk a solitary path than walk alongside people who don't share your values or support your dreams. This choice sends a message that you are committed to your purpose, to your peace, and to your own growth, no matter the cost. And in time, the right people, those who resonate with your spirit and respect your path, will be drawn to the strength of your solitude. True courage lies in understanding that loneliness isn't the enemy. Empty connections, relationships that keep you stagnant or pull you down, those are the true obstacles to a fulfilled and purposeful life. Walking alone when necessary is a sign of strength, a choice that many people are afraid to make. But those who do will find that solitude is not empty, it is rich with possibility, with self-discovery, and with the freedom to grow into who they were meant to be. It is in these moments of courage that you step into your true power, unbound by the expectations or limitations of others, ready to embrace the life that awaits you. Solitude allows us to explore our true potential without the distractions of superficial connections. When we choose solitude over shallow relationships, we gain the rare opportunity to discover the gifts and abilities that lie within us. It's in this space, free from the noise of others' opinions and expectations, that we can hear our own voice, tap into our own wisdom, and discover the depth of what we're capable of. Solitude becomes a canvas on which we paint our vision for the future, unhindered by anyone else's limitations or doubts. When you're constantly surrounded by people who don't understand your dreams or share your values, it becomes challenging to stay true to your path. Their doubts, judgments, and limitations can seep into your thoughts, slowly shaping what you believe is possible. But in solitude, you become your own source of validation, your own source of motivation. You learn to rely on your own strength, to trust your own intuition, and to pursue your goals with a boldness that doesn't rely on external approval. Solitude becomes the foundation upon which you build unshakable confidence in your abilities and unwavering faith in your purpose. In solitude, you have the freedom to envision and pursue your highest self, the person you were created to become. This isn't about perfection, it's about growth, about stretching beyond the boundaries you once thought were fixed. You begin to uncover dreams you may have ignored, passions you may have set aside, and ambitions that may have felt out of reach. Solitude gives you the space to ask yourself, who am I truly? What do I want to create in this world? What legacy do I want to leave? It's a time to reflect deeply, to reconnect with your purpose, and to map out a life that aligns with the calling placed within you. The absence of shallow connections also creates room for profound transformation. Growth often requires solitude, a time to step back from the world and immerse yourself in learning, self-improvement, and reflection. In solitude, you're not only working on your goals, you're working on yourself. You're challenging old beliefs, developing new skills, and becoming the person who can handle the responsibilities and challenges of your vision. This self-discovery is essential because if you don't know who you are and what you're capable of, the world will try to define it for you. In solitude, you have the freedom to define yourself, to choose your values, and to shape the life you want to live. Solitude helps you refine your talents and grow your strengths. It allows you to dedicate time to the things that matter most to you without interruptions from people who may not understand or support your journey. You begin to invest your energy wisely, directing it toward activities, learning, and habits that uplift and empower you. You start to see your potential more clearly because you're no longer clouded by the negativity, doubts, or distractions that others might bring. Your creativity flourishes, your resilience strengthens, and your determination deepens because you're rooted in a space that is uniquely yours, a place where only you set the standards and the pace. In solitude, you also become attuned to the inner voice that guides you, that quiet wisdom that often goes unheard in the busyness of everyday life. This is where your true potential lies, in listening to that inner guidance and having the courage to act on it. You no longer look to others for direction because you've learned to trust your own compass, to chart your own course, and to follow the dreams that were planted within you for a reason. You become aligned with your purpose, and this alignment gives you the courage to pursue even the boldest goals without needing anyone's permission or reassurance. Solitude is where greatness is cultivated. History has shown us that some of the greatest minds and most impactful leaders found their purpose in moments of solitude. It's in solitude that we find clarity, that we sharpen our vision, and that we gather the strength to bring that vision into the world. By embracing solitude, you're committing to the highest version of yourself, a version that isn't confined by others' expectations or limited by the fear of standing alone. You're choosing a path that, while challenging, leads to a life of depth, purpose, and true fulfillment. Choosing solitude over empty connections is a courageous act of faith in your own potential. It's a commitment to yourself, to the unique journey that only you can fulfill. You understand that the world doesn't need more people who conform, more people who settle for mediocrity. It needs individuals who have the strength to stand alone, to grow in silence, and to emerge as a force of change. Solitude is the proving ground of the soul. It's where you discover who you truly are. And it's where you cultivate the resilience, the wisdom, and the vision to carry your purpose into the world. In solitude, you're not just waiting for the right people or the right opportunities to come along. You're becoming the person who will attract them. And that ultimately is where your true power lies. Choosing solitude over empty connections is an act of profound self-love. When you make the conscious decision to walk alone, you are telling yourself that you are worthy of love, respect, and attention, not from others, but from within. Self-love is the foundation of everything in life. It is the key to unlocking your true potential and creating relationships that nourish and support your soul. When you continuously surround yourself with people who do not align with your values, who do not celebrate your achievements, or who constantly bring negativity into your life, you are diminishing your own sense of self-worth. These kinds of relationships chip away at your confidence and self-esteem, making it harder to recognize your own worth and your own gifts. Self-love means understanding that you are not defined by who is around you, but by the strength and beauty of your own spirit. It's about acknowledging that you are worthy of peace, happiness, and respect, even if it means letting go of people who don't treat you with the same regard. There's a deeper wisdom in knowing that to protect your peace and your soul, you sometimes need to choose your own company over the company of others. And in that space of solitude, you discover a deeper love for yourself, one that is unconditional, unwavering, and rooted in the understanding that your value does not depend on external validation. When you choose solitude, you begin to nurture yourself in ways that no external relationship ever could. You give yourself permission to heal from past wounds, to grow without judgment, and to embrace your flaws and strengths without fear of rejection. In solitude, you become your own source of support, your own source of encouragement. You stop looking for approval from others because you realize that the most important approval you need is your own. This internal validation is the fuel that drives you to pursue your dreams with confidence and passion, knowing that you are worthy of all the success and happiness that life has to offer. It is in solitude that you learn to fully accept and love yourself, flaws and all. We all have imperfections, but it is through accepting and loving ourselves in the fullness of who we are that we unlock our greatest potential. When you choose solitude, you allow yourself the space to truly reflect on your life, your choices, and your desires. You gain clarity on what you want and what you deserve, and you start to set healthy boundaries that protect your energy, your heart, and your time. By choosing to be alone rather than surrounded by empty connections, you begin to attract the right kind of relationships, ones that reflect the love and respect you have for yourself. Self-love also means recognizing your own value and understanding that not everyone deserves access to your heart and your energy. When you settle for relationships that drain you or diminish your spirit, you are sending a message to the universe that you don't fully value yourself. But when you choose solitude, you are telling the universe that you are ready for relationships that are meaningful, deep, and supportive relationships that reflect your worth and the value you bring to the world. You are not desperate for company or approval. Instead, you are waiting for the right people who resonate with your energy and who understand and honor your worth. In solitude, you begin to foster a relationship with your own soul, and this relationship becomes the most important one in your life. It is through this relationship that you find peace, purpose, and the courage to pursue your dreams. You stop seeking validation from others because you realize that your worth is not based on how others perceive you, but on how you perceive yourself. When you cultivate self-love in solitude, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. You become the best version of yourself, one that attracts the right people and opportunities into your life. Furthermore, choosing solitude teaches you the importance of nurturing your inner world. In a world that constantly pushes for external validation and constant social interaction, solitude gives you the rare opportunity to check in with yourself, to listen to your own heart, and to connect with your deeper purpose. In this quiet, reflective space, you begin to uncover the layers of who you truly are. You begin to understand your true desires, your deepest fears, and your most authentic self. And when you connect with this inner self, you discover a love that is not dependent on anyone else's approval or presence. This love is constant, it is unwavering, and it is always there, guiding you toward your highest potential. Choosing solitude is not a rejection of others, but a powerful affirmation of your worth. It's a declaration that you love yourself enough to protect your peace, to protect your energy, and to create a life that reflects your values, your dreams, and your purpose. When you embrace solitude as an act of self-love, you are not just choosing to be alone, you are choosing to be with the most important person in your life, yourself. In doing so, you unlock a deeper connection with who you are, and you begin to attract relationships that are aligned with your highest good, relationships that will support and uplift you as you continue on your journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. When you choose solitude over empty connections, you create a life that is authentic and aligned with your true purpose. Living authentically is the key to finding fulfillment, peace, and success in every area of life. When we surround ourselves with people who don't align with our values, goals, or vision, we become disconnected from the truth of who we are. We start to compromise, settling for relationships that are comfortable, yet shallow, and we lose sight of the path that we were meant to walk. These connections often lead us to live lives that are not true to ourselves, but instead shaped by others' expectations and desires. However, when you choose solitude, you give yourself the freedom to explore what truly matters to you. You allow yourself to become who you were always meant to be without the interference of external voices, distractions, or societal pressures. In solitude, you can strip away the layers of conditioning that have been placed upon you by others and discover the unique, unshakable vision that resides deep within you. It is only in solitude that we can reconnect with our own truths, free from the confusion of the opinions and limitations that others impose. This journey toward living authentically isn't always easy. It requires bravery to let go of superficial relationships, to walk away from situations that drain you, and to stand firm in your own identity, even when others may not understand. But it's in these moments of solitude that you begin to reclaim your power and your purpose. You realize that you are not here to please everyone or to fit into a mold created by others. You are here to fulfill a unique mission that only you can accomplish. Living authentically means rejecting the pressure to conform and instead embracing your true self, no matter how unconventional that may be. Solitude also provides the space to develop the inner strength required to live authentically. When you are constantly surrounded by people who do not resonate with your values or your goals, it becomes difficult to hear your own voice or to discern your true path. These shallow connections can create confusion, making it hard to differentiate between your desires and those of others. But when you choose solitude, you gain clarity. You begin to hear your inner voice more clearly, to understand what truly matters to you, and to pursue what aligns with your deepest passions and your highest purpose. The beauty of solitude is that it gives you the chance to reconnect with your own soul. This sacred space allows you to listen to your own heartbeat, to align with your own vision, and to rediscover the passions and dreams that may have been buried under layers of external noise. Living authentically requires you to cultivate an unwavering sense of self, to be secure in your values, and to pursue your dreams with relentless determination. Solitude fosters this self-assurance because it encourages you to face your own truth and to become comfortable with your own company. In this space, you develop the courage to step away from anything that does not align with your authentic self, whether it be relationships, jobs, or other external circumstances. In solitude, you also become more selective about the relationships you cultivate, understanding that not everyone is meant to be part of your journey. True, meaningful relationships are built on mutual respect, shared values, and aligned purposes. When you are living authentically, you attract individuals who resonate with your energy, who support your vision, and who add value to your life. You no longer settle for toxic or shallow relationships because you know that your energy is too valuable to be spent on those who do not respect your true self. As you begin to live authentically, you also attract opportunities that align with your purpose. When you are in tune with who you truly are, the universe begins to conspire to bring the right opportunities into your life. Authenticity draws the right people, the right jobs, and the right circumstances to you. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you are no longer chasing after things that are not meant for you. Instead, you are focused on your purpose, and when you do that, the right opportunities naturally flow to you. Living authentically also enables you to contribute to the world in a way that is unique to you. When you are in touch with your true self, you can offer something to the world that no one else can. Your gifts, talents, and passions are the keys to making a lasting impact. Whether you're an artist, a leader, a teacher, or a healer, when you live authentically, your contribution to the world is more powerful because it comes from a place of deep personal truth. In this way, you not only fulfill your own potential, but you also serve others by offering them a version of life that is rich, vibrant, and full of purpose. Moreover, living authentically allows you to experience a life of fulfillment, not just in external achievements, but in inner peace and satisfaction. True success is not measured by what others think of you, but by the peace you feel when you are aligned with your true self. The joy that comes from knowing that you are living your truth, regardless of external circumstances, is the highest form of success. It's not about impressing others or fitting into a mold. It's about being proud of who you are, knowing that you are following the path that was meant for you, and feeling fulfilled by the life you're creating. Choosing solitude over empty connections, therefore, is not just about being alone. It's about reclaiming your power, your purpose, and your authenticity. It's about saying to yourself that you are worthy of a life that is true to who you are, a life that is rich with meaning, fulfillment, and impact. It's in this space of solitude that you can truly discover the incredible potential that resides within you and begin to live the life you were always meant to live. When you choose to be alone rather than with empty souls, you empower yourself to grow in ways that are impossible in shallow or toxic relationships. Growth is a natural byproduct of solitude because it forces you to face yourself, to examine your thoughts, your behaviors, and your desires without external distractions or influence. In these moments of quiet reflection, you learn more about who you truly are, what drives you, and what you are capable of achieving. Without the noise of other people's opinions or expectations, you can make decisions based on your own values, your own needs, and your own vision for the future. Solitude becomes a fertile ground for personal growth because it gives you the space to reconnect with your deeper purpose and to take ownership of your life's direction. In solitude, you are able to heal from past wounds and emotional scars that might have been caused by toxic relationships or the negativity of others. It is only when you step away from these harmful influences that you can begin to fully heal and process your emotions. Without the interference of others, you have the space to reflect on your past experiences, to learn from them, and to grow stronger because of them. Healing requires introspection, and it requires time that is often hard to find when you are constantly surrounded by people who are not contributing to your well-being. Solitude gives you that time, that space, and that clarity to heal from the inside out. Personal growth is not just about healing or becoming more disciplined. It is about expanding your mindset and becoming more aware of your limitless potential. Solitude allows you to step back from the noise of the world and see things from a broader perspective. You begin to realize that the limits you once placed on yourself were merely the result of external influences, societal conditioning, and your own fears. As you spend more time alone, you begin to challenge these limiting beliefs, to break free from the constraints that others have placed on you, and to envision a life that is not restricted by the expectations of others. You start to realize that there are no limits to what you can achieve when you fully embrace who you are and step into your power. Through solitude, you also gain the ability to think deeply and critically. When you are constantly around others, it becomes easy to follow the crowd, to go along with what everyone else is doing, and to conform to groupthink. But when you are alone, you are forced to make decisions based on your own analysis, your own beliefs, and your own reasoning. You develop the ability to think independently, to question the status quo, and to make choices that are in alignment with your true self, rather than what is expected or accepted by others. This ability to think critically is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth because it empowers you to make decisions that move you forward, rather than decisions that simply maintain the status quo. Moreover, personal growth is about finding your own voice and expressing it with confidence. When you are constantly surrounded by the opinions and influences of others, it becomes difficult to find your own voice. You may begin to question your own beliefs or suppress your true feelings in order to fit in. But in solitude, you reconnect with your authentic voice. You begin to speak your truth, stand firm in your convictions, and express yourself fully and unapologetically. As you continue to grow in this way, you begin to attract others who resonate with your authenticity, who respect your individuality, and who want to support your growth. As you choose solitude over empty souls, you also embrace the process of becoming more self-aware. Self-awareness is a cornerstone of personal growth because it allows you to understand your motivations, your desires, and your weaknesses. When you are alone, you are not distracted by the expectations of others or the influence of external opinions. Instead, you are able to look inward and gain insight into your own thought patterns and behaviors. This level of self-awareness helps you make better choices, avoid destructive habits, and develop the wisdom to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. Personal growth is a continuous process, and solitude provides the ideal environment for it to flourish. In the stillness of being alone, you are given the opportunity to reimagine yourself, to let go of limiting beliefs, and to embrace the limitless potential within you. You are able to create a life that reflects your true self, one that is rooted in purpose, authenticity, and fulfillment. Solitude, therefore, becomes not just a temporary escape, but a vital part of your journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. And as you grow in this way, you become more capable of achieving the success, happiness, and inner peace that you truly deserve. In conclusion, choosing to be alone rather than surrounded by empty souls is not an act of loneliness, but an act of empowerment. It is a decision to embrace your personal growth, to reconnect with your authentic self, and to cultivate the inner strength necessary for achieving your highest potential. Solitude provides the space to heal, reflect, and evolve, giving you the clarity and confidence to move forward with purpose and vision. It is in these moments of solitude that you discover your true power, develop self-discipline, and break free from the constraints that have held you back. So don't fear being alone, embrace it. For it is in the quiet, solitary moments that you will find the strength to become the person you were always meant to be. And in time, you will attract those who resonate with your authenticity and support your journey toward greatness. There is something profound you must understand about the journey of those who are chosen. The path is not easy, but it is one of purpose. And in this journey, you may encounter opposition, resistance, and even forces that seem to be working against you. These forces, which we might call demons, are not as they appear. They are not sent to destroy you. They are sent to refine you, to shape you, to prepare you for your greater purpose. You see, demons are a tool in the hands of God. They are used to strengthen the chosen ones, to build endurance, and to sharpen the mind and spirit. When the enemy comes against you, it is not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to overcome. They test your faith, they challenge your resolve, and they push you toward the destiny that God has placed in your heart. What you must understand is that opposition doesn't come to those who are ordinary. Demons don't waste their time with people who are not a threat. They target those who are on the verge of greatness. They target those who are carrying a divine mandate that will impact the world. The greater the assignment, the greater the opposition. This is not a curse. It is a sign that you are walking in your purpose. Demons don't have the power to stop what God has ordained. They can't destroy what God has set in motion. What they can do, however, is challenge your focus. They can cause distractions and temptations. They can make you question your path, your strength, and even your identity. But in all of this, they serve a greater purpose. Every challenge they present forces you to go deeper in your faith, to search your soul, and to depend more on God. The chosen ones are refined in the fire of adversity. Every battle you face, every demon that stands in your way is there to develop you. The chosen ones are not exempt from struggles. They are equipped to overcome them. It's through these struggles that you grow, that you rise to the next level of your purpose. Demons help you realize the power that lies within you. They help you discover the strength you never knew you had. They are the catalyst for the transformation that must happen within you before you can take your place in the world. Don't be afraid of the challenges you face. Understand that they are not meant to break you, but to make you. God allows these trials to mold you into the leader, the influencer, and the overcomer you were destined to be. The demons that come against you are simply helping you to become the version of yourself that can fulfill your divine calling. So when you face opposition, don't shrink back. Don't ask, why me? Instead, ask, what is this preparing me for? Because the greater your preparation, the greater your assignment, the more fierce the battle, the more glorious the victory. You are not alone in this fight. You have a purpose, and no demon can stand against what God has called you to do. Demons are not sent to destroy you, but to refine you. This is a truth that many overlook when they face opposition. The very thing that seems like an attack is, in fact, an opportunity for growth. When you encounter spiritual warfare, it is not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to overcome it. God allows these forces to come into your life, not as a means of punishment, but as a way of shaping you for the purpose He has placed on your life. They are part of the divine plan to purify your character, to build your faith, and to elevate your understanding of who you truly are. Refinement does not come without pressure. Gold is refined in fire, and so too are you. The more intense the battle, the greater the work God is doing in your life. Demons, in this sense, act as instruments in the hands of the divine to bring out the best in you. They push you to places within yourself that you may never have discovered on your own. They test your resolve and make you rely more on God's strength than your own. Through these trials, you learn how to stand firm in your faith, how to trust in God's timing, and how to rely on His power. The moment you understand this, you begin to see the battle in a different light. No longer are you a victim of circumstances, but a warrior being prepared for a greater destiny. When demons attack, they are not just attacking you, they are challenging you to rise above the ordinary and step into the fullness of the person God has called you to be. You cannot be refined without being tested. You cannot grow without facing resistance. Every attack, every challenge, every opposition is a stepping stone towards the greatness that lies ahead of you. This is the divine purpose behind every battle you face. You are being shaped, molded, and prepared for something far greater than you can even imagine. Demons in the hands of God are not your enemies, but your teachers, your trainers, helping you to become the person who can fulfill the high calling on your life. The fact that demons target you is not a sign of your weakness, but rather an indication of your strength. When opposition comes into your life, it is not because you are small or insignificant, but because you are a threat to the enemy's plans. The enemy does not waste time on people who are not a danger to his agenda. If you were not on the path of purpose, if you were not destined to accomplish something powerful, the enemy would have no reason to challenge you. It is because you are walking in your divine calling that you come under attack. This is something that many fail to understand. The greater the purpose, the greater the opposition. The demons that come against you are not sent to discourage you, but to confirm that you are headed in the right direction. You see, when you are chosen, when you are set apart for a divine assignment, the enemy will rise up against you with everything he has. He will throw every obstacle in your way, not because he believes he can defeat you, but because he knows the power that lies within you. The opposition is a sign that you are moving toward your destiny, and the enemy will do everything in his power to try and stop you. But what the enemy fails to recognize is that he cannot stop what God has ordained. The attack he sends your way is actually helping to propel you forward. It is strengthening you, preparing you, and pushing you to the place where you can fulfill your purpose. Every challenge you face is a testimony to the fact that you are doing something right. You are on the path of greatness, and demons can sense it. They are not trying to stop you from succeeding. They are trying to stop you from realizing just how unstoppable you truly are. Instead of shrinking back in fear or discouragement when you face opposition, take it as a confirmation that you are on the right path. The enemy knows the power within you, and that is why he is trying so desperately to take you down. But his efforts will be in vain. The greater the resistance, the greater the breakthrough that lies ahead. So stand firm in your faith and know that the enemy's attacks are only a sign that you are walking in the authority and power that God has given you. Your purpose is too powerful and your calling too significant for the enemy to prevail. The greater your purpose, the greater the opposition you will face. This is a principle that many miss because they focus only on the struggle. But the reality is that the intensity of your challenges is a reflection of the greatness of your calling. If you have been chosen for something significant, you can be certain that the enemy will do everything in his power to try and stop you. He knows that your potential, your purpose, and your influence can change lives, shift nations, and bring glory to God's kingdom. And so he rises up against you with everything he has because he understands the power of your assignment. It's important to recognize that opposition is not an accident. It is not something that happens randomly or by chance. The level of difficulty you face is directly related to the level of impact you are meant to have. When God places a powerful purpose on your life, the enemy sees that as a threat. And so he sends challenges, demons, and distractions to derail you. But here's the truth: the greater your purpose, the more prepared you must be to handle the weight of that calling. The trials you face are not meant to destroy you. They are designed to strengthen you, to stretch you, and to prepare you for the vastness of the task at hand. In the Bible, we see countless examples of this. Look at the life of David, who was anointed to be king, but had to face Goliath before he could sit on the throne. David's purpose was great, and therefore his challenge was great. Look at the life of Jesus, who was sent to bring salvation to the world. His purpose was unparalleled, and yet the opposition he faced was immense. He was tempted in the wilderness, rejected by his own people, and ultimately crucified. But through all of this, his purpose was fulfilled, and through his sacrifice, the world was changed forever. Your purpose is just as significant. You are being prepared for something far greater than you can see right now. The opposition you face is a sign that you are on the verge of something amazing. If there were no challenges, it would mean that your purpose is not significant enough to draw the attention of the enemy. But because you are destined to achieve something great, you will face resistance. And instead of letting that discourage you, you must embrace it. The challenges are not there to stop you. They are there to make you stronger, to shape you into the person who can carry out your mission. So when you encounter resistance, don't see it as a setback. See it as a confirmation that you are walking in alignment with your purpose. Every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is a chance to prove to yourself that you are strong enough to handle what's coming. The greater your assignment, the greater the opposition, but also the greater your capacity to overcome. And in the end, you will emerge victorious, stronger, wiser, and more prepared to fulfill the massive calling that God has placed on your life. Challenges are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. Every trial, every moment of opposition you face is a tool to help you develop the endurance and resilience you will need for your greater purpose. You are being shaped through the fires of adversity. These challenges force you to dig deep, to find strength in places you didn't know existed, and to trust in God more than ever before. It is easy to become discouraged when faced with difficulties, but you must understand that these challenges are a necessary part of the process of growth. Each battle, no matter how fierce, teaches you something invaluable. It teaches you to stand firm, to keep your eyes on your purpose, and to not be swayed by circumstances. When the enemy comes against you, it's not about defeating you, it's about showing you the depth of your own strength. The more resistance you face, the more you are forced to rely on God's power. You begin to see that you are not fighting in your own strength, but in the strength that God has given you. It is in the moments of hardship that you truly discover the depth of your faith and the magnitude of your inner strength. Endurance is something that cannot be developed without trials. You cannot build resilience if everything in your life is easy. You cannot grow stronger if you are never faced with a challenge. It is the tough times that shape your character, your mindset, and your ability to overcome. These moments of struggle are not just meant to pass, they are meant to transform you. They are meant to prepare you for the success and influence you are destined to achieve. You must understand that every setback is not an obstacle, it is a stepping stone. Every hardship you face is pushing you closer to the person you are meant to be, the leader you are meant to become, the influencer you are meant to be. When you face trials, you may be tempted to give up. The enemy will whisper in your ear that you are not strong enough, that you are not equipped to handle what's in front of you. But in those moments, you must rise above the lies of the enemy and remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. The struggles you face today are preparing you for the victories of tomorrow. They are developing your character, your patience, and your ability to persevere. Endurance does not come easily, but it is built over time through consistent trials and overcoming adversity. The more you face, the stronger you become. The more you overcome, the more prepared you are for the next level of your purpose. The challenges are helping you to develop a mindset that says, I will not quit. I will not back down. I am stronger than I know, and I am capable of handling anything that comes my way. When you realize that challenges are not meant to break you, but to build you, your perspective changes. You no longer see yourself as a victim of your circumstances, but as a victor who is being prepared for greatness. Every challenge is a part of the divine design, shaping you into the person who can fulfill your purpose and carry out the mission that God has placed before you. So embrace the challenges, embrace the growth, and trust that you are being equipped for what's ahead. The person you are becoming is exactly who you need to be to step into your destiny. Opposition is not something that randomly occurs in your life. It is a direct result of you walking in your divine purpose. When you are truly aligned with the mission God has set before you, you become a target for the forces of darkness. This is not a sign that you are doing something wrong, rather, it is a sign that you are doing something right. You are moving in the direction of your destiny, and the enemy sees that. He recognizes the potential within you to make a profound impact, to bring about change, to fulfill God's plans, and he will stop at nothing to try to stop you. The more closely you follow God's will for your life, the more opposition you will face. This is because you become a threat to the enemy's kingdom. The chosen ones are not simply called to exist, they are called to make a difference, to shift the atmosphere, and to bring heaven to earth. This is why opposition will often rise up against you in the form of spiritual warfare, difficulties, and challenges. The enemy wants to distract you, to discourage you, and to make you doubt your calling. But the very fact that you face these challenges is evidence that you are walking in purpose. Think about it. When you are living for something bigger than yourself, when your life carries weight and significance, you will naturally encounter resistance. When Jesus was on earth fulfilling his divine purpose, he faced constant opposition. From the moment he began his ministry, he was challenged by religious leaders, tested by temptation in the wilderness, and ultimately crucified. Why? Because his purpose was to change the world, and the enemy knew that. The opposition didn't mean he was off track. In fact, it proved he was exactly where he needed to be. It showed the enemy feared what Jesus could accomplish. This is the same principle that applies to you. As you pursue the purpose that God has placed on your life, you will face opposition. But remember, opposition does not equal failure, it equals purpose. When the enemy rises up against you, he is not doing so because you are weak, but because you are a threat. You are walking in your divine calling, and you are about to do something that will make a significant impact in the world. The chosen ones are not exempt from struggles. They are empowered by them. The more the enemy tries to attack you, the more you must recognize that you are not just surviving, you are advancing. You are being prepared to take your rightful place in the world, and every opposition you face is part of the process. God is using it to mold you, to strengthen your faith, and to teach you to trust in him fully. You must understand that opposition is a confirmation that you are headed in the right direction. It's not something to shy away from or be afraid of. Instead, it's something to embrace because it reveals that you are walking the path of purpose that God has laid before you. When you face resistance, you know that you are on the right track and you are doing exactly what you are called to do. The enemy's attack is simply a sign that you are a threat to his plans, and that is something to be celebrated. The greater the opposition, the greater the calling. So stand firm and continue walking in purpose, knowing that with every attack, you are one step closer to fulfilling your destiny. When you are walking in your purpose and moving toward your destiny, there will be times when it seems like everything is falling apart. It can feel as though the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and the enemy is using every tactic in his arsenal to pull you down. But what you need to realize in those moments is that the opposition you are facing is actually a confirmation that you are on the right track. The enemy doesn't fight those who are not a threat. He doesn't waste his energy attacking people who are not moving towards something greater. The very fact that you are under attack means that you are on the path to greatness. The enemy's job is to make you feel that the pain, the struggle, and the opposition you face are signs that you are doing something wrong. He wants you to question your calling, to doubt the purpose that God has placed on your life. But here's the truth: resistance is a sign of your strength, not your weakness. It's a sign that you are moving in the direction of your destiny, and the enemy is terrified of what will happen when you fully step into it. The attacks you face are simply the enemy's attempt to derail you from fulfilling your divine calling. He wants to distract you, to make you feel small, and to convince you that your purpose is not worth the fight. But God uses every attack the enemy sends as a means to strengthen you and propel you forward. Think of it this way: every time the enemy comes against you, he is actually setting you up for a bigger breakthrough. He is unwittingly pushing you into the very place that God has designed for your elevation. The more you endure, the more you grow. The more resistance you face, the stronger your foundation becomes. Every attack that the enemy launches against you forces you to trust God more deeply, to rely on his strength, and to recognize that you are not fighting this battle alone. When you are chosen by God for a great purpose, it doesn't mean that the road ahead will be easy. In fact, the more significant your calling, the more intense the battles will be. But you have to understand that these battles are necessary for your growth. Every trial, every struggle, every opposition is equipping you for the victory that lies ahead. The enemy wants you to believe that the battle is too much to handle, that you won't make it through. But in reality, the very fact that you are still standing is proof that you are a force to be reckoned with. You see, the enemy may try to attack you from every angle, but the more he attacks, the more you are pushed into your purpose. The more you face, the more you are being molded into the person God created you to be. The struggle is refining you, strengthening your character, and developing the kind of perseverance that is needed to carry out the mission God has given you. So when you feel the weight of the opposition, remember that it is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of God's preparation. He is strengthening you, positioning you, and getting you ready for the breakthrough that is coming. Every obstacle, every challenge, every opposition is part of your growth process. You are being equipped for something bigger than yourself. The enemy may think he is winning by sending these attacks, but the truth is, he is only helping to build you into the person you are destined to become. Your purpose is too powerful to be stopped, and every attack is only pushing you closer to the fulfillment of that purpose. Keep moving forward, keep standing firm, and keep trusting that the opposition is simply the evidence that your destiny is near. There is a powerful truth that we must understand as we journey through life, especially when we face trials and opposition. God has already equipped you with everything you need to overcome every challenge, to rise above every obstacle, and to fulfill the destiny He has placed before you. It is not in your own strength that you will prevail, but in the power of the one who created you. When God calls you, He doesn't call you to fail, He calls you to succeed. But He also knows that the path to success requires that you be refined, tested, and prepared. The enemy will try to convince you that you are inadequate, that you are not strong enough, and that you are not capable of achieving what God has destined for you. But in those moments, you must remember that God has already prepared you for the battle. It's crucial to understand that God doesn't send us into the world unprepared. He equips us with the skills, the wisdom, the inner strength, and the spiritual fortitude necessary to face every battle that comes our way. Every challenge that seems impossible to overcome is an opportunity to tap into the greatness that lies within you. When God created you, He placed seeds of greatness inside of you. These seeds may be dormant at times, but when you are tested, when you are faced with adversity, those seeds are activated and you begin to see just how much strength you have inside of you. The enemy will try to convince you that you are powerless, but God has already given you authority over everything that comes against you. This authority isn't just a gift, it's a weapon. It's a tool that you must learn to wield. When the enemy comes against you, you are not standing alone. You are standing in the power and authority of God. Every attack, every weapon formed against you is no match for the power that God has placed inside of you. You have the power to speak life into situations, to declare victory over your circumstances, and to walk in the full authority that God has given you. One of the most important things that God does through opposition is to reveal to you the strength you didn't even know you had. He doesn't show you your true strength when everything is going smoothly. He reveals it when you are pressed, when you are tested, when you are surrounded by resistance. In those moments, you begin to understand that you are capable of so much more than you thought. The power to overcome isn't just something that will come in the future. It's already inside of you. The ability to triumph over every trial, every challenge, every attack from the enemy is already part of who you are. What may seem like a roadblock is actually a stepping stone. Every challenge you face is a chance for you to discover the power, the wisdom, and the resilience that God has placed within you. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you're being transformed. You are becoming the person that God knew you would be. You are growing stronger, wiser, and more capable with each challenge you face. And through this process, you begin to realize that the real power comes not from your own efforts, but from the divine power that God has placed inside of you. You are walking in His strength, and that strength is unstoppable. There will be moments when it feels like the enemy is attacking from all sides, but remember this: God is not only with you, He is in you. His power is at work in your life, and His grace is sufficient for every situation. He has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. Every trial you face is an opportunity for you to tap into that power, to lean on His understanding, and to walk in the victory that He has already prepared for you. The opposition that comes against you is not stronger than the power of God within you. So when you are faced with challenges, when you are tempted to give up, remember that God has already made you more than a conqueror. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. You are already equipped to handle everything that comes your way. Your strength is not your own, it is the strength of the Lord. And that is more than enough to overcome any enemy, any obstacle, and any challenge. Keep pressing forward, because God has already given you the victory, and His power will sustain you through every trial. Distractions come in many forms, people, situations, emotions, and even your own thoughts. They might seem insignificant at first, but they can grow into major obstacles if you allow them to. The enemy will use whatever means necessary to keep you off course. He will try to get you to focus on the problems rather than the solution. He will want you to dwell on the pain rather than the purpose. But the key to overcoming these distractions is understanding that they are merely tactics of the enemy to keep you from the destiny that God has for you. These distractions do not have the power to stop you unless you give them power. You must make a conscious decision every day to keep your eyes on the prize, to keep your focus on God's plan for your life. You cannot allow the distractions to take your attention away from the things that truly matter. The moment you begin to entertain the distractions, you lose sight of the bigger picture. But when you keep your eyes fixed on your purpose, you find that the distractions lose their power. They may still be there trying to pull your attention in different directions, but they will not have the same hold over you. One of the ways the enemy uses distractions is by making you feel overwhelmed. He will send waves of challenges and issues that seem insurmountable all at once. In those moments, you may feel like you are drowning in the weight of the world. But here's the secret. The enemy is hoping that in your overwhelmed state, you will forget your purpose. He wants you to focus on the chaos rather than the calling. But remember, God has called you for such a time as this. He has already given you the strength and the wisdom to navigate every storm. The more you fix your gaze on Him, the less power the distractions have over you. The distractions might come through people. Sometimes those closest to you may not understand the path you're on. They might criticize, doubt, or even try to discourage you from pursuing your purpose. But understand this, the enemy often uses people to distract you from the greater mission. These distractions can pull you into unnecessary conflict, drag you into negativity, or make you feel isolated. But the moment you understand that those distractions are simply tools of the enemy to take you off course, you will be able to rise above them. The enemy also tries to distract you by tempting you to focus on things that are temporary and not eternal. He will present you with short-term pleasures, fleeting achievements, and false rewards that pull you away from your true calling. But you must remind yourself constantly that your mission is bigger than any distraction the enemy can throw your way. Your purpose is greater than any temporary satisfaction the world offers. When you keep that perspective, distractions will lose their power over you. And here is the truth that will set you free. Distractions cannot stop you unless you allow them to. They are only distractions when you choose to be distracted. The enemy wants to use the temporary to rob you of the eternal. But God has placed a divine vision in your heart, and as long as you keep your eyes on that vision, you will stay on course. No matter what comes your way, no matter how loud the distractions may seem, you have the power to stay focused on the mission God has entrusted you with. The enemy will try, but he will not succeed in pulling you away from your divine purpose unless you allow him to. In every season of life, keep your vision clear. Guard your focus. When distractions come, and you will have the ability to resist them by keeping your eyes on the prize. You were born to fulfill a purpose that is greater than any temporary struggle or distraction. God has already equipped you to handle everything that comes your way. You have the power to stay focused, and when you do, the distractions of the enemy will lose their ability to steal your joy, your peace, and your destiny. Keep your eyes fixed on the prize, for the calling that God has on your life is worth every sacrifice and every battle. The enemy will try to convince you that the difficulties you face are a sign that God has abandoned you or that you are not favored. But in truth, these challenges are opportunities for you to demonstrate the power of God's grace in your life. The trials and tribulations you go through are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you up. They are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to develop your character, strengthen your resolve, and refine your faith. Every trial you face is not just a battle, it's a chance for you to rise higher. The enemy may send adversity your way, but he does not know the power that lies within you. He does not understand the depth of God's purpose for your life, and so he underestimates your ability to endure. Each time the enemy comes against you and you stand firm, you grow stronger. Each time you face opposition and continue to press forward, you gain more resilience. Your endurance becomes a testimony to the power of God working in your life. When you endure, you develop a deeper relationship with God. It is through the hardships that you learn to depend on Him more fully. You discover that He is not just your Savior in the moment of your salvation, He is your sustainer in every moment of your life. As you endure, you realize that you cannot do it alone, but through Christ, you can do all things. The more you endure, the more you experience the fullness of God's provision, His peace, and His strength. And the more you endure, the more you realize that there is nothing the enemy can throw at you that can separate you from the love of God or the purpose He has set before you. It's important to remember that endurance is not just about holding on in a passive way. It's an active process. It's about continuing to pursue your purpose even when things aren't going the way you expect. It's about pressing forward when the road gets tough, when the opposition gets fierce, and when the doubts try to take root. Endurance is about continuing to praise God, continuing to trust in His timing, and continuing to walk in the direction He has called you to, regardless of the challenges that arise. The beauty of enduring in faith is that it allows God to work through you in ways that you cannot even imagine. Endurance opens the door for divine favor to operate in your life. It allows God to refine your character, to purify your heart, and to prepare you for greater things. Endurance is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of strength and maturity. It shows that you understand that your purpose is not determined by your circumstances, but by the calling that God has placed on your life. When you endure, you testify to the world that God's word is true, that He will never leave you nor forsake you, and that He is faithful to complete the work He has begun in you. The enemy wants you to quit, to give up, to walk away when the pressure becomes too much. But when you endure, you defeat him in ways that words cannot express. You show the enemy that you will not be moved by fear, doubt, or opposition. You show him that your faith is immovable and that nothing can stop you from walking in the fullness of your destiny. God is preparing you for greatness, and endurance is the process that will get you there. You must embrace the difficulties, the trials, and the challenges, because they are the refining fire that is shaping you into the person you are destined to become. The enemy may have plans to discourage you, to derail you, and to distract you, but you are more than capable of standing strong. With each step you take, you grow stronger in faith, in purpose, and in the assurance that God is with you. And with each moment you endure, you become a living testament to the power of God's grace at work in your life. Your endurance will not only lead you to victory, but it will also be a beacon of hope for others who are watching you overcome. Keep pressing forward, because you are on the path to fulfillment, and your endurance will bring you into the place God has prepared for you. When you understand your purpose as the chosen one, you realize that the challenges you face are not only about you, they are about what God is doing through you. The enemy may try to make you feel isolated, like you're in this battle alone, but the truth is far from that. The battles you face are shaping you to become an example to others, showing them that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to stand firm in faith, remain focused on your mission, and continue to walk in the victory God has promised you. Your struggles, your endurance, and your victories will inspire others to persevere in their own journeys. You are not just overcoming for yourself, but for the countless lives that will be impacted by your testimony. When you endure and push through, you are building a legacy of faith and strength that others can look to as a beacon of hope. People need to see your story, your victories, your perseverance, and your unshakable faith in order for them to believe that they too can overcome whatever challenges come their way. The world is waiting for your story to unfold, because it will be a living testimony to God's power working through a person who refuses to give up. The enemy wants you to focus solely on your own struggle, but God is using your journey to touch others. Your pain will not be in vain. It will be used as a testimony to bring hope, encouragement, and a sense of possibility to others who may feel like giving up. When you understand that your trials are not just for your personal growth, but for the kingdom of God, your perspective shifts. You no longer see the challenges as roadblocks, but as stepping stones that will equip you to be a vessel of God's power. Every obstacle you overcome not only brings you closer to your purpose, but also becomes a weapon in the hands of God to help others. You are being prepared not just to walk into your destiny, but to help others find their way too. The enemy wants you to believe that you are in this fight alone, but the truth is, every step you take forward is paving the way for others to follow. This is why the enemy uses every tactic to distract, discourage, and disempower you. He knows that if you endure, if you stand firm, if you refuse to back down, the ripple effect of your faith will change lives. He knows that you are a walking testimony of God's power and grace. Your victory is not just for you, it is for the generations to come. People will be saved, healed, and delivered through the testimony of your faithfulness to God's call on your life. Your endurance is laying the foundation for an entire generation to rise up and take their place in the kingdom of God. God has chosen you for this purpose, to not only fulfill your own destiny, but to help others fulfill theirs. Your battles are not in vain. Your strength, your endurance, and your faith are helping to prepare the next generation of warriors for God's kingdom. When you push through, when you continue to walk in faith despite the trials, you are creating a legacy that will last far beyond your own life. You are laying the groundwork for others to stand in the same victory that you have found, and your life will be a beacon of hope for all who are watching. You may not always see it, but your journey is touching lives in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Remember, the enemy's attacks are not a sign of defeat, but a confirmation that you are on the right path. You are being prepared for greatness, not just for your own sake, but for the sake of others. Your victory is not just your own. It is a testimony for those who are watching, waiting for the proof that they too can overcome. Your endurance, your perseverance, and your unshakable faith will become the very thing that empowers others to stand firm in their own battles. You are not alone in this fight. Every step you take is laying the foundation for others to follow, and every victory you claim is another beacon of hope in a world that desperately needs to see what God can do through a life of faith. You are the living proof that with God on your side, nothing is impossible. So stand firm, endure, and know that every challenge you face is only preparing you for the greater purpose God has for you. Keep pressing forward, because your journey is far from over. The best is yet to come, and through your endurance, you will not only fulfill your purpose, but help others fulfill theirs as well. God is with you, and through him, you will continue to rise higher. Justice is a law of the universe, an unshakable principle woven into the fabric of life. There is no pain, no wound, no betrayal that goes unnoticed in the grand scheme of things. When you have been wronged, when you have been used, when you have been cast aside, know this: the scales will balance. The hands that inflicted pain will one day tremble under the weight of the very wounds they caused. Many people believe that justice is something they must enforce themselves. They seek revenge, they hold on to bitterness, and they allow the poison of resentment to dwell in their hearts. But justice does not belong to the hands of man. It belongs to the divine order. It is not yours to chase. It is already in motion. The wounds you carry today will one day turn into the lessons that define you, while those who inflicted them will have to face the consequences of their action. It is written into the very nature of life that what is sown must be reaped. A person cannot sow deception and expect peace. They cannot plant seeds of betrayal and expect a harvest of loyalty. If they wounded you, if they disregarded you, if they treated you as though you were nothing, there will come a day when they will look for mercy and find none. Not because you wished it upon them, but because they built their own downfall with their own hands. Your response to the wounds inflicted upon you determines your destiny. You can choose to allow pain to make you bitter, or you can allow it to refine you. You can choose to dwell on what they did, or you can focus on what you are becoming because of it. Those who walk in wisdom understand that their suffering is not the end of the story. It is a transition into something greater. The very wounds that were meant to destroy you will become the foundation upon which you rise. And while you heal, know this: those who sought to break you will not escape the consequences of their actions. When a person tears down another for their own gain, they are not securing their future. They are writing their own curse. They may laugh today, but the laughter will fade. They may seem to prosper now, but time will reveal the cracks in their foundation. The pain they inflicted on you will revisit them in a way they never expected. Not by your hands, not by your wishes, but by the law that governs life itself. Your wounds will not be wasted. They are the evidence of your endurance, the proof of your transformation. And in time, those wounds will become wisdom, and those who misused you will find themselves entangled in the very destruction they orchestrated. You do not need to seek justice. It is already moving toward them. Let go of resentment, focus on your growth, and watch as the justice that was never in your hands finds its way to those who caused your pain. Justice is inevitable. No matter how long it takes, no matter how hidden the wrongdoing may seem, the scales will always balance. Life is governed by principles that cannot be manipulated, altered, or bypassed. When a person chooses to inflict pain, deceive, or betray, they set into motion a force they cannot control. They may walk away thinking they have escaped accountability, believing that time will bury their actions, but justice does not sleep. It watches, it records, and it moves at its own appointed time. There are people who have wronged you and continued with their lives as if nothing happened. They smile, they prosper, they act as though their actions carried no weight. But just because you cannot see justice at work does not mean it is not unfolding. There is no escape from the consequences of one's actions. They may outrun human judgment, they may manipulate circumstances in their favor, but they cannot outrun the law of justice that governs the universe. It does not need permission to operate, nor does it require witnesses to validate its process. It moves in silence. It works in unseen spaces. And when the appointed time comes, it strikes with precision. The arrogance of those who harm others is that they believe their power, their influence, or their ability to deceive will shield them. But no wealth, no status, no manipulation can block what has already been set in motion. What was done in secret will eventually be exposed. What was built on the suffering of others will collapse. And when justice arrives, it does not knock, it enters. It does not ask, it demands. It does not negotiate, it executes. It comes at the perfect time when the one who caused harm least expects it in a way they cannot anticipate. The same way they inflicted pain without regard, justice will be served without warning. Do not be deceived by the illusion of time. Just because their downfall has not yet come does not mean it will not come. Some destruction is slow, unseen, and gradual. It works in ways the human eye cannot perceive, but those who have caused harm will one day find themselves standing in the ruins of what they built. There is no escaping the hand of justice. It does not fail. It does not forget, and it never shows up empty-handed. Revenge is not necessary because justice does not belong to human hands. The temptation to retaliate, to make them feel the same pain they inflicted on you, is strong. The desire to expose them, to see them suffer, to ensure they do not escape the consequences of their actions is natural. But revenge is a trap. It does not bring healing. It does not restore what was lost. And it does not move justice forward. It only binds you to the very thing you are trying to be free from. When you take matters into your own hands, you step into a battle that is not yours to fight. You exhaust yourself trying to make wrongs right. Yet justice is already in motion. It does not need your assistance. The moment someone chooses to harm you, they have already sealed their fate. The moment they use deception, manipulation, or cruelty to get ahead, they have already set into motion the very forces that will bring them down. Their downfall is not dependent on your actions. It is already written into the consequences of their choices. There are those who believe that if they do not act, if they do not retaliate, the one who wronged them will get away with it. But the truth is, no one gets away with anything. Time may delay it, circumstances may disguise it, but justice is always moving forward. You do not have to dirty your hands trying to bring them down. Life will do it for you. What is done in darkness will always be exposed in the light. What was built on lies will always collapse under the weight of truth. The one who walked away thinking they won will eventually realize that they only secured their own destruction. Revenge drains you, but justice restores you. The more you focus on getting back at someone, the more power you give them over your life. You chain yourself to the very pain you want to be free from. But when you let go, when you release the desire to make them suffer, you step into freedom. You allow yourself to heal while they remain trapped in the cycle of their own wrongdoing. Their punishment will come not by your hands, but by the same law that governs all things. They will watch as everything they built on deception crumbles before them. They will remember the harm they caused, not because you reminded them, but because justice will make them face it. Let go of the need to prove a point. You do not need to lower yourself to their level to ensure they learn their lesson. They are already on a path that leads to destruction. They may look like they are winning now, but life does not allow imbalance for long. Justice is in motion, and it will not stop until every debt is paid. Your job is not to carry out the sentence. Your job is to heal, to move forward, and to watch as justice unfolds without your intervention. The law of reaping and sowing is unbreakable. No one can plant seeds of deception, betrayal, and harm and expect to harvest peace, joy, and prosperity. It is impossible. The universe does not operate on feelings or emotions. It operates on principles. What a person sows, they must also reap. It may not happen immediately. It may not happen in the way they expect, but the harvest will always come. If they have sown dishonesty, they will reap the consequences of their own lives. If they have sown destruction in the lives of others, they will find destruction waiting for them in ways they never imagined. There are those who have mistreated you, thinking they could walk away without facing the consequences. They may have manipulated, deceived, or used you for their own benefit, believing that their actions would be buried in the past. But the past does not stay buried. Every action is a seed, and every seed has a season of harvest. They may seem to prosper now, they may seem untouchable, but the harvest of their deeds is already growing beneath the surface. It does not matter how high they climb. If they built their success by tearing others down, their foundation is already cracking. The weight of their own choices will be too heavy for them to carry when the time comes. No one is exempt from this law. The same way a farmer cannot plant thorns and expect to gather wheat, no one can spread pain and expect peace in return. They may laugh today, but they will not laugh forever. They may think they have escaped justice, but they cannot escape themselves. The things they did to others will come back to them in ways they never expected. The same tears they caused will find their way to their own eyes. The same betrayal they used to gain advantage will turn against them when they least expect it. Some people believe they can outsmart the law of reaping and sowing by manipulating circumstances or hiding their actions. They think that because time has passed, the consequences have disappeared. But time does not erase what has been planted. It only determines when the harvest will come. Some harvests are immediate, others take years, but no seed remains unharvested. They may move to another place, start a new life, or surround themselves with new people, but they cannot escape what they have sown. Life will find them wherever they go. The most dangerous thing a person can do is believe they are an exception to this law. The moment they think they can harm without consequence, deceive without exposure, or betray without penalty, they have already sealed their fate. Justice does not forget, and the earth itself does not ignore what has been planted. The same ground that received their seeds of destruction will return to them a multiplied harvest of the same. They will reap it in their relationships, in their peace of mind, in their future, and even in the things they once valued the most. Your pain was not in vain. What they did to you was not unseen. They have written their own outcome with their own actions. You do not need to interfere. You do not need to remind them, and you do not need to seek revenge. The law of reaping and sowing is already at work, and it never fails. Their own actions will be the weight that pulls them down. They may not see it now, but the harvest is coming, and when it arrives, there will be no escape. Pain is never wasted. The wounds inflicted by others were not just moments of suffering, they were lessons, transformations, and preparations for something greater. Every tear you shed, every betrayal you endured, and every injustice you faced has been recorded, not just in your heart, but in the fabric of life itself. What was meant to break you has instead built you. What they thought would destroy you has only refined you. They did not realize that by hurting you, they were shaping you into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. There are moments when you wonder why you had to go through it. Why did they get away with it? Why did they walk away unscathed while you were left to pick up the pieces? But what they did not understand is that pain has a purpose. It does not come to leave you empty. It comes to teach, to elevate, and to prepare. The suffering you endured was not just an accident. It was a process. It stripped away illusions, removed distractions, and sharpened your discernment. You no longer move blindly. You see through deception. You no longer trust words alone. You look for actions. You no longer give your energy to those who do not value it. What they did to harm you has turned into the very thing that has positioned you for a greater future. They believed they were breaking you, but in reality, they were forging you into something unshakable. They mistook your kindness for weakness, not realizing that kindness is a power that cannot be defeated. The moment they sought to take advantage of you, they initiated their own downfall, because the very wounds they inflicted on you will turn into the weights that drag them down. Life is not mocked. It does not allow harm to go unanswered. They thought they walked away untouched, but what they left behind in you will become the very force that turns against them. Your scars are proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. They are reminders that you have overcome, that you have grown, that you have learned. They are not signs of weakness, but marks of wisdom. The people who wounded you will come to regret it, not because you sought revenge, but because they will see you rise to a place they never expected. The pain they inflicted will turn into the very thing that elevates you beyond their reach. The more they try to bring you down, the higher life will lift you. What they did in secret will become their public lesson. They thought no one would see, that no one would hold them accountable, but justice is never blind. What was done in the dark will always come to the light. While they are busy looking over their shoulder, waiting for the consequences to catch up with them, you will already be walking in victory. Your healing will be their greatest regret. Your success will be the proof that their harm had no power over you. The pain they caused will return to them, not because you wished it, but because life ensures that every wound inflicted without cause becomes the very thing that curses the hands that delivered it. The deception of temporary success is dangerous. There are those who believe that because they are prospering now, because they have not yet faced the consequences of their actions, they are safe. They mistake silence for approval. They mistake delayed justice for escape. But what they fail to understand is that time is not on their side. It is only gathering evidence. The universe does not forget, and life does not leave debts unpaid. No one outruns the consequences of their own actions. No matter how far they go, no matter how high they rise, they may have gained power, wealth, or status through manipulation and betrayal, but the foundation of their success is unstable. What is built on dishonesty will always collapse under the weight of truth. What is established through injustice will never stand the test of time. They may boast about their victories, but they do not realize that their victories are temporary. They may mock those they have hurt, But they do not see that their own downfall is already being written. Their temporary success is only an illusion. It blinds them to the reality that justice is always working, even when it moves in silence. The most dangerous thing a person can believe is that they can escape accountability. They assume that because no one has confronted them, because their actions have gone unnoticed by those around them, they have truly gotten away with their wrongs. But they do not understand that justice does not operate on human schedules. It does not always arrive immediately, but when it does, it is unstoppable. The delay is not a sign of mercy. It is a sign that their judgment is being prepared in full measure. Time may allow them to enjoy the rewards of their deception for a season, but time is also gathering weight. Every moment they think they have escaped, every moment they continue to walk in arrogance, they are only increasing the severity of their downfall. The higher they climb through manipulation, the harder they will fall when truth finally catches them. The wealth they gain through injustice will slip through their fingers. The relationships they built through deceit will collapse. The power they acquired by stepping on others will turn against them, and they will realize too late that nothing they built was ever truly secure. What they once laughed about will soon become their greatest regret. They will remember the people they hurt when they find themselves in pain. They will recall the tears they caused when they find their own heart broken. They will think back to the trust they betrayed when they themselves are abandoned, but by then it will be too late to undo the damage. The same opportunities they misused, the same grace they ignored, will no longer be available to them. The doors they thought would always be open will be shut. The people they look down on will be out of reach. The sex that is built on injustice never lasts. They may celebrate today, but they will grieve tomorrow. They may believe they are untouchable, but justice never sleeps. Their downfall is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. And when it comes, they will finally understand that what they thought was a blessing was only a trap, waiting for the right moment to close in on them. They will come to see that the very success they thought would protect them was only the evidence of their own undoing. The weight of wrongdoing is never truly lifted. Those who have caused harm may appear to move forward, laughing, celebrating, and building their lives as if they have escaped consequence. But deep within, there is no peace. The mind remembers what the soul refuses to acknowledge. They may silence their guilt with distractions. They may surround themselves with people who affirm their lies, but the truth remains. No matter how much they try to cover it up, the echoes of what they have done will always follow them. The guilt of their actions will become the shadow they cannot outrun. They may pretend that they feel nothing, that they sleep soundly at night, but guilt is patient. It waits until the noise fades, until the distractions are gone, and then it speaks. It speaks in the silence of the night. It speaks in the moments of solitude. It speaks when they least expect it. It reminds them of the people they have wronged, the relationships they have destroyed, and the trust they have betrayed. It forces them to confront what they have tried so hard to forget. They may ignore it for a time, but ignoring does not erase, it only delays the inevitable. The weight of an unjust act does not disappear. It grows heavier with time. They may not realize it at first, but with each passing day, the burden increases. What they once dismissed as nothing begins to take form in their thoughts, their emotions, and even their bodies. Anxiety grips them when they least expect it. Fear creeps in, even when no one is chasing them. They second guess every relationship, wondering who might betray them, as they have betrayed others. They lose trust in people because they know what they themselves have done. What they inflicted on others becomes the very thing that torments them. They may continue to put on a brave face, but deep inside, they know something is missing. No amount of success, wealth, or recognition can fill the void created by guilt. They thought they could move on without consequences, but they underestimated the power of a troubled conscience. They will find themselves restless, unable to find joy in what once brought them pleasure. They will experience moments where the weight of what they have done becomes unbearable. The very things they pursued, power, fame, fortune, will feel empty because they were gained at the cost of another's pain. Guilt does not need a courtroom to bring judgment. It does not need an accuser to pronounce a sentence. It is its own punishment. It locks the guilty in a prison of their own mind, where their worst fears are played on repeat. They begin to see their past actions in everything around them. They cannot look at kindness without being reminded of the kindness they betrayed. They cannot witness suffering without remembering the suffering they caused. They may try to escape, but no matter where they go, the past is waiting for them. And so they live in fear, not of being caught, but of being exposed to themselves. They fear facing the truth they have denied for so long. They fear looking in the mirror and seeing the weight of what they have done staring back at them. And in the quiet moments when no one else is watching, they will come to understand that guilt is not an emotion to be ignored. It is a debt that must be paid. And until it is, they will never truly be free. There is a law that governs the universe, one that no man can escape, no matter how powerful he believes himself to be. It is the law of sowing and reaping. Every action is a seed, and every seed will bear fruit. The deception of the wicked is that they believe they can plant destruction and harvest peace, that they can sow pain and reap joy, that they can scatter betrayal and gather loyalty. But the soil of life does not lie. It only returns to them what they have planted. For a time, it may seem as though the ground is silent. They may believe that their actions have been buried and forgotten. But the truth is that the seed is only taking root. And when the harvest comes, it does not come in small measure. It returns in full. The pain they inflicted on others will return to them multiplied. The wounds they caused in secret will be revealed in public. The suffering they ignored will visit them in ways they never expected. No one escapes this law. They may run from it, but they cannot outrun the season of reaping. They may deny it, but denial does not change reality. They may try to use their power, their influence, or their resources to avoid the consequences. But what is spiritual cannot be fought with physical means. No wealth can buy back integrity. No status can undo the damage of a corrupted soul. No reputation can shield them from the consequences of their own actions. It may not happen immediately, and this is where many are deceived. They assume that because judgment has not yet fallen, it never will. But justice is not in a hurry. It moves in its own time, and when it comes, it does not negotiate. The wicked may have thought they escaped the suffering they caused, but what they fail to realize is that they were only moving closer to the day when they must face it. They are walking into the very trap they set for others. What they did in one season, they will face in another. It may come through the very things they once valued. The same relationships they manipulated will become their greatest source of betrayal. The wealth they accumulated unjustly will vanish when they need it the most. The power they misused will turn against them. The respect they forced from others will fade into resentment. And the same way they ignored the cries of those they hurt, they will find themselves crying out with no one to answer. Life is patient, but it does not forget. The oppressed may have suffered in silence, but the universe does not ignore injustice. The wounded may have been overlooked by men, but they were never overlooked by the divine order that governs all things. There will come a moment when those who once sat in arrogance will be brought low. They will find themselves in the very position of those they once hurt. And in that moment, they will understand what they refused to believe. The law of sowing and reaping is absolute, and no one, no matter how powerful, no matter how confident, can escape what they have planted. When the time of reckoning arrives, it does not come with warning. It does not announce itself with a loud voice, nor does it seek permission to enter the lives of those who have done wrong. It moves silently, like a shadow in the night, creeping up when they least expect it. They will wake up one day and realize that everything they once held dear is slipping through their fingers. The security they built for themselves will feel like sand beneath their feet. The control they thought they had over life will dissolve before their eyes. And no matter how much they try to hold on, they will come to see that justice cannot be stopped. The deception of the wicked is that they believe their actions exist in isolation. They think they can harm others without harming themselves. They think they can break a heart and walk away unscathed. But no one injures another soul without leaving wounds upon their own. The pain they inflicted upon others has already been written into their destiny, waiting for the moment to be delivered back to them. It may come in the form of broken relationships, in the betrayal of the very people they trusted, in the loss of opportunities, or in the slow decay of their peace. They will try to convince themselves that it is just bad luck, but deep inside, they will know this is not random. This is the return of what they have done. The weight of past actions does not disappear simply because time has passed. It follows them, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. They may have mocked the pain of others, but soon they will feel a pain so deep that they will understand the depth of the wounds they created. They may have laughed at another's suffering, but soon their own tears will flow in places where no one can see. And when they reach out for comfort, they will find that the hands they once rejected will not be there to lift them. It is in this moment that reality will strike. They will come face to face with what they have become. The very things they dismissed will now become the weight they cannot bear. The voices they ignored will become the whispers that haunt them. The cruelty they justified will now be the judgment that follows them. And though they may try to run, they will realize that there is no escaping the justice that has come to settle the debt. It is a frightening thing to fall into the hands of the justice that was ignored. When those who caused pain must now endure it, when those who deceived must now live in the consequences of their own deception, there is no one to blame. They will search for excuses, but none will satisfy. They will try to shift responsibility, but the truth will be undeniable. What they inflicted on others has now become their own portion. What they used to bring others down has now become the weight that brings them to their knees. And in that moment, they will understand the law they once rejected. No one escapes the harvest of their own hands. When the weight of their actions finally returns to them, it will not come in fragments. It will come in full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The same way they once dismissed the cries of those they hurt, their own cries will now go unanswered. They will seek refuge in the very things they once used to justify their cruelty: power, wealth, influence. But these things will fail them. The relationships they manipulated will dissolve. The resources they clung to will vanish. And the authority they abuse will crumble beneath them. At first, they will not understand what is happening. They will look around in confusion, asking why life is treating them this way. They will search for someone to blame, but deep inside they will feel the whisper of truth. This is what they built for themselves. They shaped their own future with the suffering they ignored, and now the pain they once overlooked has come to claim them. The world may have applauded them for a season. They may have walked with confidence, believing they were untouchable, that their actions had no consequences. But the applause of man does not erase the justice of life. The false security they build with lies and manipulation will become their greatest weakness. They will long for the peace they once thought was unnecessary, the love they once took for granted, and the relationships they so carelessly destroyed. This is the moment where their own hearts will become their enemy. The same mind that once justified their wrongs will now torment them with the truth. They will replay their choices, remembering the people they used, the words they spoke, and the moments they ignored, the suffering they caused. And the most painful part is not just that they are now suffering, but that they had every opportunity to choose differently. Regret will consume them like a fire that cannot be quenched. They will reach for relief, but no relief will come. The same isolation they forced upon others will now become their own. The tables have turned, and there is no way to reverse what has been set in motion. They will remember the moments when they could have chosen mercy, but chose judgment instead. When they could have offered kindness, but instead inflicted pain. And now they will feel the weight of every choice they made, not as an observer, but as the one suffering under their own doing. When the scales of justice are finally balanced, the cries of the wounded will be replaced by the cries of the one who caused the wounds. The very people they disregarded have moved forward, but they are now stuck in the consequences of their own creation. And this is what makes justice absolute. It does not need to be enforced by human hands. It simply unfolds as a result of what was already sown. There is no running, no hiding, no negotiating. What was done in the dark has now become their reality. And in that moment, they will finally understand what they refuse to believe. No one escapes the return of their own actions. And when the full measure of their actions returns to them, there will be no warning, no escape, no place to hide. It will come like a flood, sweeping away every illusion of control they once had. The very foundations they stood upon will shake beneath them, and they will come to understand what they once refused to acknowledge. Justice is not a distant idea. It is a force that moves in silence, waiting for the appointed time to reveal itself. They will remember the faces of those they hurt, the moments when they chose selfishness over compassion, the times when they could have lifted others but instead pushed them down, and the weight of those memories will no longer be something they can ignore. Their own conscience will turn against them, no longer offering excuses, no longer allowing them to justify what they did. Their mind will become a battlefield. Tormented by the very things they dismissed, they will try to find comfort in distractions, in the things that once gave them pleasure, but nothing will satisfy. The people they once surrounded themselves with will now distance themselves, sensing the unraveling of their world. They will reach out for help, but the same way they once ignored the cries of others, their own cries will now go unheard. They will call out for relief, but relief will not come. What they inflicted on others has now become their own portion, and they must drink from the cup they once poured for others. The same arrogance that made them believe they were untouchable will now become their downfall. The pride that kept them from showing mercy will now leave them abandoned in their suffering. They will see the same doors they once slammed shut now closing on them. The opportunities they took for granted will slip away. The people they used will rise while they are left struggling with the consequences of their own actions. And as they sit in the silence of their own downfall, they will begin to realize that the justice they denied was never denied at all. It was only waiting for the right time, waiting for the right season, waiting until they could no longer run from what they had done. The tears they dismissed will now be their own. The loneliness they caused in others will now be their reality. The suffering they once mocked will now shape their days. In that moment, they will understand that justice does not come to harm. It comes to restore balance. It does not come from revenge. It comes from the law of sowing and reaping. And as they sit in the ruins of what they built for themselves, they will finally see the truth they ignored. What they did to others, they have done to themselves. What they sent out has now returned. The cycle is complete, and there is no reversing what has already been set in motion. There is no escaping the justice that life weaves into every action. It may not come when expected. It may not come in the way imagined, but it will always come in its appointed time. The wounds inflicted upon the innocent become the burdens of the guilty. The pain they ignored becomes the weight they must carry. No amount of power, wealth, or influence can protect anyone from the harvest of their own deed. In the end, what was sown must be reaped, and when the cycle is complete, it will not be the cries of the wounded that remain. It will be the cries of those who thought they could escape justice. Time is one of the most powerful forces that reveal the true nature of relationships. It doesn't matter how many people surround you, how many promises are made, or how many words are spoken. Time will expose the truth, because time does not lie. It unveils who truly stands with you when the storms of life come, when your strength is tested, and when your journey grows difficult. In moments of success, everyone wants to be a part of the celebration. But when the tide turns, when challenges arise, and when the applause fades, it's in those moments that time will reveal who truly stands by your side. It's easy to walk with you when the path is clear, but it takes true commitment and loyalty to walk with you through the valleys of uncertainty. The true measure of those who stand with you is not found in the good times, but in the trials and the waiting. People can promise you loyalty, but time will test their words. Time will show you who is truly invested in your vision, who believes in your potential, and who is willing to sacrifice for your growth. It's easy for someone to be there when everything is going well, but only those who have a deep sense of purpose in your life will stay when the weight of your journey becomes heavy. This time reveals the integrity of your relationships. It uncovers the motives behind the smiles and exposes the truth behind the actions. As you continue to walk through life, understand that time will sift through the crowd and reveal the genuine from the fake. True supporters will be there, not just when the sun is shining, but when the clouds gather and the rain falls. These are the people who understand your struggles and still choose to stand by you. They are not just there for the moments of celebration, but are committed to walking with you through every trial and challenge you face. Time doesn't lie. It doesn't rush. It doesn't rush to conclusions, and it doesn't rush to judgments. It reveals slowly but surely who truly believes in your potential and is willing to support you in your purpose. The ones who truly stand with you are the ones who, when the world turns its back, choose to remain by your side, offering their support, encouragement, and strength. So don't be discouraged when people begin to fade away, when faces change, and when promises are broken. Recognize that time is simply doing its work. Time is revealing the truth. Keep moving forward. Stay faithful to your purpose, and know that those who are meant to stand with you will be there when the dust settles. Time is one of the most powerful forces in life, and it is through time that the truth about who truly stands with you is revealed. You see, it's easy for people to claim loyalty, to say they will be there for you when you succeed, to promise that they will walk with you on every step of your journey. But time will expose the authenticity of those claims. In the beginning, when things are going well, everyone wants to be associated with success. They want to share in the glory, bask in the rewards, and be seen in the light of your accomplishments. But when the journey gets rough, when the road becomes uncertain, when the very thing you are pursuing begins to test your endurance, this is when time will reveal the true nature of your relationships. Time doesn't rush, it doesn't seek approval, it simply passes and brings clarity. It separates the true from the false, the committed from the casual, the loyal from the opportunistic. In those quiet moments of struggle, when you feel like no one is looking, or when others may have left you to carry the weight alone, time will reveal who is still there. It will show you the people who are truly invested in your growth, not just the ones who benefit from your success. Time will test the strength of your bonds and the sincerity of the support you receive. It won't be in the easy times that you will see who stands by you, but in the challenging, uncomfortable moments when you question everything. As you move through life, understand that time is not only a healer, but a revealer. It brings to the surface those who are meant to be by your side and exposes those who only stood with you for what you could offer. In the face of hardship, time will prove who is willing to be there through the long haul, who will fight alongside you, and who will hold your hand when everyone else walks away. It is only through the lens of time that we can truly understand who is committed to our dreams, who believes in our vision, and who sees us beyond the surface. Time is the ultimate truth teller, the great revealer of character, and the silent witness to our most profound moments of growth. When others step away or fade into the background, don't despair. Know that time has simply done its work, revealing those who are meant to stay and those who were never truly meant to be a part of your journey. Not everyone who celebrates you will stand by you. The truth is, many will cheer you on when you're winning, when everything is going according to plan, and when you're the center of attention. They'll share in your joy, bask in your light, and revel in your success. But the true test of loyalty and friendship comes when the situation changes, when the applause fades and when the lights go down. It is easy to be surrounded by people when everything seems perfect, when life is smooth, and when things are on the rise. But when the difficulties hit, when you face challenges, or when you find yourself in a season of struggle, you'll quickly see who is truly with you. The reality is that many people are attracted to the external glory, the fame, and the recognition that come with your success. They want to be associated with the good times because it benefits them, whether emotionally, socially, or materially. But when the circumstances shift, when you're no longer in the spotlight, and when the struggles of life begin to weigh you down, those same people may disappear. Suddenly, the ones who were quick to praise you, to share your triumphs, and to be seen with you are nowhere to be found. Their presence was based on what they could get from you, not on a genuine desire to walk with you through thick and thin. This isn't a reflection of your worth or your abilities. It is simply a lesson that teaches us about the nature of relationships and the motives of people. There will always be individuals who want to be around when things are easy, but true support is proven when the road gets tough. When you are no longer the source of attention, or when you are faced with adversity, you will discover who your real friends are, who truly stands by your side without expecting anything in return. These are the people who will lift you when you fall, encourage you when you feel discouraged, and support you when no one else does. When the success fades, when the achievements are no longer front page news, it is the people who loved you for who you are, not just for what you have, that will remain. They are the ones who understand your struggles, see your potential beyond the moment, and are committed to your growth no matter what. True loyalty is not about the highs of life. It is about being there when the lows come. It is easy to call someone a friend when everything is going well, but it takes real character and commitment to stand by them when the storms hit. So don't be disheartened when you see people fall away. Recognize that time is revealing the truth. Those who remain with you in your struggles are the ones who truly stand by you. True loyalty is tested in difficult times. It is easy to say, "I'm with you," when everything is going smoothly, when life is filled with victories, and when success is evident to all. But true commitment is revealed not in moments of celebration, but in moments of challenge, when things don't go as planned, when you face setbacks, disappointments, and failure. This is when the people who say they are with you will either rise to the occasion or fade away. When life presents its difficulties, it tests the very foundation of your relationships. Those who are truly committed to your success, your journey, and your dreams will not abandon you when things get hard. They won't run away when the path becomes uncertain, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, or when the pressure intensifies. True loyalty isn't about being present when everything is easy. It's about sticking around when things aren't going according to plan, when your weaknesses are exposed, when you are vulnerable, and when you need someone the most. It's in the dark seasons of life that the strength of your relationships is truly tested. It's easy to find people who will stand by you when you're winning. But those who are truly loyal to you, those who have the strength of character to endure the challenges alongside you, are the ones who will stay when your world feels like it's falling apart. They will be the ones who refuse to let go, who will help you pick up the pieces, and who will keep pushing forward even when things look impossible. So remember, this true loyalty isn't something you can find in the bright moments of life. It is revealed when the shadows fall, when the storm clouds gather, and when everything seems uncertain. The people who are truly committed to you will stand firm no matter the trials, and they will stay by your side, not for what they can get from you, but because they believe in you, in your purpose, and in your future. When life tests you, look around and see who is still there. Those are the people who will truly stand with you no matter what. Time uncovers the integrity of relationships. It has a way of showing us the true nature of the people in our lives. We all have moments where we believe in the words people speak when they say they're with us, when they promise to support us, when they express their loyalty. But time is the great revealer. It has a way of revealing the difference between what is spoken and what is genuine. Many people will say the right things, offer the right encouragement, and show you a face that seems supportive when the world is cheering you on. But when the world falls silent, when the applause fades, when the winds of life shift, that is when time truly exposes who is really with you. It is important to remember that integrity is not just about what people say or what they do when they are in your presence. It's about their commitment when you're not around, when there is no audience, when there is nothing to gain. Time reveals whether people have your best interests at heart or whether they are just along for the ride. The people who truly stand with you are the ones whose words align with their actions, even when the spotlight is no longer on you. They are the ones whose support isn't just visible when things are easy, but becomes evident when the road gets rocky, when your life is out of the public eye, and when your struggles are hidden from the world. Through time, you begin to see who consistently backs up their promises, who consistently supports you through thick and thin, who stands firm when everyone else fades away. Integrity doesn't wait for a perfect moment to show itself. It's there in the quiet moments, in the hard times, and in the long stretches of waiting. It reveals itself through a person's character, through their actions when they have nothing to gain. Time will eventually show you the true nature of the people around you, whether they are here for your moments of greatness or if they are committed to seeing you through the hard times, whether they are there to build you up or to tear you down. As you walk through life, you will come to realize that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people come for a season, others for a reason, and some stay for a lifetime. Time reveals who is meant to be a permanent fixture in your life and who was simply passing through. It is often difficult to accept, but the reality is that some people will only be in your life for a particular purpose or for a specific chapter in your journey. When that chapter ends, you may find that they fade away, and that is when time reveals the truth about their role in your life. The reason they were there may become clear only after they are gone, but the lessons learned will stay with you forever. But then there are others, and this is where time is so important. There are people who come into your life when everything is going well, when success seems to be within your grasp, and when your life is shining brightly. But as soon as things take a turn, as soon as the challenges come, as soon as the story shifts, these people may suddenly disappear. Time reveals that they were never meant to stay. They were never there for the right reasons. They were only interested in what you could give them or in what you could provide. They were only interested in the surface level aspects of your life, not the deeper, more meaningful parts. When those superficial things are no longer present, when you are no longer a source of what they need, they may quietly exit your life. It is painful when this happens, but it is also necessary. It is in these moments that time teaches us the value of true relationships. It shows us who we can count on and who we cannot. It helps us learn the importance of investing in relationships that are built on a solid foundation, where the connection is not dependent on external circumstances, but on mutual respect, love, and trust. While it can hurt to see people leave, it is essential to understand that not everyone is meant to stay forever. Their departure makes room for the people who are meant to be there for the long haul. So take heart. When you see people drift away, know that time is revealing something important. It's helping you to see who is truly meant to walk with you and who was just a temporary presence in your life. Be grateful for the lessons they taught you, but don't hold on to people who were never meant to stay. Trust that time will bring those who are meant for you, and that the true relationships in your life will endure no matter the seasons. Time will expose who is meant to remain, and those people will add value, stability, and unwavering support to your journey. Time reveals the true character of those who stand with you. It shows us the difference between those who are only present when life is easy and those who are committed to being with you through every storm. When you go through the trials of life, when your world seems uncertain, you will find that those who truly stand with you are not the ones who are looking for comfort or convenience. They are not the ones who disappear when the challenges appear or when the circumstances turn difficult. No, time will show you who is there for the long haul, those who have a deep commitment to your well-being, not just a passing interest in your success. People may come into your life with good intentions, but it's not until the pressure builds, until the difficulties arise, that you will see their true colors. It's in the midst of adversity that their true loyalty is revealed. When you're facing disappointment, when you're feeling broken, or when you're standing at a crossroads in life, those who stand by you without hesitation are the ones who have character. They are the ones who show up when no one else does, who offer a helping hand, a listening ear, or a word of encouragement when the world feels like it's against you. They do not back away because the situation is difficult. Instead, they step forward and stand beside you, proving through their actions that their commitment is not temporary. Time also shows us who is truly invested in our growth. It's easy for people to say they support you, but when you begin to change, when you begin to outgrow old ways, old environments, and sometimes even old relationships, you will see who can truly keep up with you. Growth often comes with discomfort, and many people are only willing to support you as long as you remain the same, as long as you stay within the boundaries that are familiar to them. But the ones who are truly with you will be the ones who support your growth, even when it means change, even when it means challenging old habits, even when it means making tough decisions that might not always be understood. True loyalty is not conditional. It is not based on what someone can gain from you or what benefits they can receive in return. Time reveals those who are with you because they see the value in you, not just in the present, but in the future. They recognize that your journey isn't just about one moment of success or one victory, but about the long-term vision and purpose that you are walking toward. These are the people who cheer you on even when no one else is watching, who encourage you when you falter, and who stay grounded by your side when it seems like the world is shaking. They do not judge you for your mistakes, but help you learn from them. They are not afraid of your growth because they know that your growth does not diminish them, but rather uplifts both of you. When you go through the storms of life, when you are faced with trials that seem insurmountable, time will show you the true measure of loyalty. Those who remain with you through it all, who are not afraid of your struggles or your success, are the ones who are genuinely invested in you. They are not looking for something to take from you, but for ways to give, to support, and to be there for you as you walk through the fire. They are the ones whose love, encouragement, and dedication never waver no matter what challenges arise. These are the ones whose character has been revealed by time, and they are the ones who will stand by you no matter what life throws your way. When you're going through a difficult season, you will see who will still stand by your side, who will still encourage you, who will still lift you up, even when you have nothing to offer them in return. Some people will only be with you when it benefits them, when everything is going smoothly. But it is those who are committed to your well-being, those who see your worth beyond your current circumstances, who will remain with you no matter what life brings. They are the ones who see the potential in you, even when you can't see it in yourself. They understand that your journey is not about the present struggles, but about the bigger purpose and the greater future that lies ahead. These people do not abandon you when the winds blow strong. They don't disappear when things get tough. Instead, they show up not because they expect anything from you, but because they are genuinely invested in you and your journey. They don't leave because you're not perfect or because you're not always at your best. They remain because their support is not dependent on your performance or your external success, but on the person you are on the inside and the person they believe you are becoming. Time reveals who can handle the weight of your burdens with you. It's easy to walk beside someone when everything is going well, but when you're under pressure, when the world seems to be closing in, it's the people who are truly committed to you who will help you carry that load. They will walk with you through the pain, through the suffering, through the doubts, and they won't walk away because of the weight. They will help you endure, help you persevere, and help you rise above the challenges you face. These are the people who don't shy away from your darkness, but are willing to stand with you in the midst of it. Time also reveals the people who are willing to invest in your future, even when your present doesn't look promising. It's easy to walk away when there's nothing to show for your effort, when things are not looking up, when the rewards seem far off. But those who are truly loyal to you will invest in you even when you have nothing to give them, because they believe in your potential and they understand that your future is brighter than your present. They are not moved by temporary setbacks, but they are rooted in their commitment to see you succeed. They are the ones who will encourage you to keep going, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. They will be your strength when you feel weak, your hope when you feel hopeless, and your cheerleaders when you have no energy left to cheer for yourself. When life shows you its hardest trials, when you are standing in the darkest moments of your journey, it is time that will reveal the true friends and allies in your life. These are the ones who are not afraid of your imperfections, your struggles, or your failures. They are the ones who see your potential, believe in your dreams, and will stand by you no matter how difficult the path may seem. Time teaches us that true loyalty is proven in the valleys, not just on the mountaintops. And those who remain with you through the valleys will be the ones who walk with you to the highest heights. Time does not just reveal who stands with you, but it also exposes who truly understands your journey. Life is full of challenges, and each person's path is unique, filled with different dreams, fears, and goals. Not everyone who enters your life can comprehend or appreciate the depth of your experiences, your struggles, or your aspirations, but those who are meant to stay, those who are truly in your corner, are the ones who understand the intricacies of your journey. They don't just see the surface, they see the layers beneath your dreams, your heart actions, your desires, and your vision for the future. They understand the work, the sacrifices, and the battles you fight in silence, even when you don't speak them aloud. It is easy to be a part of someone's life when everything is going according to plan. But the people who truly understand your journey are the ones who are still there when things don't go as expected. They understand that life isn't always a straight path, and that success often comes with detours, delays, and even setbacks. These individuals do not turn away when they see you falter or when things take an unexpected turn. Instead, they offer their support, not because they expect you to be perfect, but because they know that the road to fulfillment is not linear. They understand that every detour, every challenge, and every setback is simply a part of your process, and they stand with you through it all. The people who truly understand your journey will also be the ones who challenge you to keep going when you are tempted to quit. They know that greatness is not achieved without struggle, and they are not afraid to push you when they know you are capable of more than you believe. These individuals don't tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. They know when to encourage you to keep moving forward, and they also know when to pull you back and remind you of your purpose when you lose sight of it. They understand that you are not defined by your present circumstances, but by the strength you show in overcoming them. Moreover, the people who understand your journey are the ones who see the bigger picture. They know that life is not just about immediate results or instant gratification, but about the long-term process. They are patient with you, knowing that real success takes time. They understand that every step, even the small ones, is a part of a larger story, and they are there to celebrate every victory with you, no matter how small, because they know the journey is just as important as the destination. Time will show you who truly understands your path, because these people will remain anchored to you even as the seasons change. They are not there for the easy moments or for the victories alone, but for the full spectrum of your journey, your highs, your lows, your moments of clarity, and your moments of confusion. They will be by your side because they understand that your growth and transformation require more than just surface level support. They understand that you are constantly evolving, and they are committed to evolving with you, always willing to learn and adapt as you navigate your journey. As time unfolds, it not only reveals who stands with you, but it also exposes who is truly invested in seeing you become the best version of yourself. In life, there are people who are with you because of what they can gain from you, and then there are those who are with you because they genuinely believe in your potential. These individuals don't just celebrate your successes, they also understand the importance of your growth and are committed to helping you achieve your highest potential, even when it requires sacrifice, patience, or tough love. Time reveals who will invest in your personal development. It is easy to be around when everything is going well, when success is tangible, and when rewards are within reach. But the real test of who is truly invested in you is when they are willing to walk alongside you during the difficult times, the times when you're growing, struggling, and working hard to become better, even if that process is not glamorous or immediately rewarding. These people don't just want to see you succeed in the short term, but they are interested in your long-term growth. They are invested in the journey of becoming more than you are right now, and they understand that growth isn't always comfortable or visible to others. They stand with you when things are not easy, when you are facing failure or rejection. They don't walk away when you stumble, when the road gets rough, or when your flaws are laid bare for all to see. Instead, they encourage you to continue learning, improving, and reaching for what is ahead. They challenge you to think bigger, dream bigger, and work harder. These are the people who will offer you constructive feedback, not because they want to tear you down, but because they want to help you rise higher. They will tell you the hard truths, even when they're uncomfortable to hear, because they know that growth requires honesty, not just praise. Their investment is not limited to their words, but is reflected in their actions. They are the ones who will spend their time with you, who will help you when you need guidance, and who will provide resources, support, or knowledge to help you become who you are meant to be. They are the ones who show up when you need them, not because it's convenient, but because they care about your future. They may not have all the answers, but they will stand by you and provide you with the tools, wisdom, and encouragement to navigate your journey towards success. As time reveals who is truly invested in your growth, it becomes clear that these individuals are not there to simply celebrate the results, but to be part of the process. They understand that personal development is a lifelong journey and that the path to success is rarely a straight line. They are there for the long haul, ready to support you not only in your victories, but also in your failures, knowing that each step is a part of the greater plan that God has for your life. Their investment in you is not fleeting. It is a commitment to see you transform, to see you grow into the person you are destined to become. They won't just stand with you when it's easy, but they will walk with you through the trials, the setbacks, and the frustrations, because they know that these are the moments that shape character and build strength. They are committed to seeing you reach your fullest potential, and they will be by your side every step of the way, encouraging you, helping you, and holding you accountable. Time shows you who these people are, and when you realize who they are, you understand that their presence in your life is a blessing and a gift, because they are the ones who will help you unlock your true greatness. As time goes by, it inevitably reveals who is truly willing to stand by you, not because of your circumstances, but because of who you are. There are those who are only with you when the sun is shining, when everything is going well, when you are victorious and successful. But real relationships, true partnerships, and authentic friendships are built on the foundation of unwavering support through both the highs and the lows. Time reveals who the people are who will stand with you, even when your world feels like it's crumbling, when the storms of life seem unrelenting, and when the path forward appears unclear. These are the individuals who see you for who you are, not for the external accomplishments or the accolades that others might recognize. It is through adversity that the true strength of relationships is tested. Time shows who will stand with you not because it benefits them or because it is easy, but because they genuinely care for your well-being. They understand that you are not defined by your current situation, but by your capacity to overcome it. These individuals are not fair weather friends. They are the ones who see your potential and your worth even when you can't see it in yourself. They choose to be there because they know that your struggles are temporary, but the bond of true support and loyalty can last a lifetime. In moments of challenge, they offer not only their time, but also their energy and their heart. They don't look to exploit your weakness, but rather to uplift you, to encourage you, and to remind you of your strength and resilience. They will stay by your side, not to fix you or tell you what to do, but to walk with you as you work through your own process of healing, learning, and growth. They will stand with you in silence when words fail, in comfort when you need peace, and in action when you need help. In this way, time also reveals who truly values you, not for what you can give them or what you bring to the table in terms of benefits or success, but simply for the person you are at the core. They value your integrity, your heart, your ambitions, and your spirit. They stand with you because they are committed to seeing you flourish, not just in the good times, but in every season of life. They are the ones who understand that true loyalty is not measured by the ease of a situation, but by the willingness to endure the challenges together, to build something meaningful through the trials, and to share in both the victories and the struggles that come along the way. As time moves forward, it becomes increasingly clear that these people are not just waiting for the best version of you to emerge. They are actively helping you become that version every single day. Their presence in your life is not contingent on your success or failures, but on the fact that they recognize your worth and will stand by you no matter what. They are not there to reap the rewards of your success, but to stand by you in the journey of self-discovery, transformation, and fulfillment. True loyalty is a rare gift, and time shows you who is truly committed to being there for you through it all. Not because it is easy, but because they genuinely believe in your future. These are the people who will not only help you rise after a fall, but will also walk with you side by side as you continue to rise higher with every step. They understand that life is not just about moments of triumph, but about the consistency of support and love through the everyday journey. And when time reveals these people to you, you realize that they are the ones who truly stand with you because they see you not as you are in the moment, but as you can become in the future. As we reflect on the journey of life, it becomes clear that time is not just a measure of moments passing, but a revealer of truths. Time shows us who is truly standing with us, not based on our successes, but through our trials, our growth, and our struggles. It reveals those who are not there for the benefits, the recognition, or the easy times, but those who are invested in our well-being, our transformation, and our future. The people who stand with us during our weakest moments are the ones who believe in our potential when we can't even see it ourselves. Integrity is not something that can be hidden for long. It shows itself through actions, not just words. People can tell you they're loyal, they can assure you that they will always be there, but it is time that will test the truth of their promises. When the going gets tough, when success is no longer guaranteed, and when your journey is filled with difficulties, it is in those moments that integrity stands up or falls away. Time exposes the character of those around you. It doesn't rush, it doesn't jump to conclusions, but it works silently, gradually showing who is truly invested in your vision and who is simply interested in the rewards. This loyalty isn't based on convenience or what someone can gain from you. True loyalty is a choice, a commitment to stay the course even when the road becomes difficult. It's not about expecting anything in return. It's about being there, regardless of the circumstances. In fact, the greater the challenge, the clearer the picture of loyalty becomes. When you are at your lowest, when you feel like you have nothing left to give, the people who truly stand by you will be the ones who offer their support without hesitation. They will be the ones who encourage you when you doubt yourself, who pray with you when you're feeling hopeless, and who offer a helping hand when you can't stand on your own. Time has a powerful way of showing us who is genuinely committed to us, not just in the good times, but in the bad. Life is filled with highs and lows, victories and defeats, moments of celebration and moments of despair. It is in those low moments when you are at your weakest, when your strength is drained and your hope seems distant, that time reveals the true nature of those around you. People may be present during the easy times, but the true test of friendship, loyalty, and love comes when you are struggling, when your life is messy, when you're battling challenges that seem insurmountable. It is during these times that time will show you who really cares for you, who really stands by you, and who is willing to go the distance, even when there's nothing to gain. When time passes, it shows you who has taken the time to truly understand you, not just in the moments of success, but in the moments when you felt most vulnerable. These are the people who can sense when something is wrong, even if you don't say a word, who can read between the lines of your silence, and who know exactly when you need a word of encouragement or a moment of comfort. They have invested time and energy into learning your heart, and they do not judge you based on your mistakes, your failures, or your setbacks. Instead, they see you through the lens of your potential, of what you are becoming, and they stand with you in the knowledge that your journey is one of growth and evolution. In a world that often values instant results and superficial connections, time reveals the true depth of those who understand the essence of your journey. They are the ones who recognize your worth even when you can't see it, who walk with you through both the joy and the pain, and who help you find meaning in the struggles. These are the people who will stand by you not only when things are easy, but especially when the road is hard and unclear. They understand that your journey is not about perfection, but about perseverance. Time shows you who these people are, and they will become the anchor that keeps you grounded, no matter how turbulent the waters may be. In moments of self-doubt, these people will be the ones who see the greatness in you when you can't see it in yourself. They will push you beyond your comfort zone, not because they want to see you fail, but because they know that growth only happens when you step outside of your limits. They will speak life into you when you feel like giving up, reminding you of your strengths, your abilities, and the vision that you have for your life. They will not allow you to settle for less than your best because they believe in your potential to achieve greatness. When times get tough, these people don't disappear or shrink away. Instead, they step in closer, they draw near, and they become even more present in your life. These are the people who do not need to be reminded of their role in your life because they understand that the essence of friendship, partnership, and loyalty lies in standing with you when you need it the most. They don't look for reasons to walk away. Instead, they look for ways to be there for you. Whether you are facing failure, disappointment, or heartbreak, they remain a steady presence in your life, offering support, encouragement, and a sense of comfort when everything around you seems uncertain. In the end, it is not the fair weather companions who will matter the most, but the ones who remain by our side through it all, who challenge us, support us, and walk with us as we navigate both the peaks and valleys of life. They are the ones who help us grow, evolve, and rise higher. Time will reveal who they are. And when we look back, we will realize that these people have been the anchors of our strength and the wind beneath our wings. Let us cherish and value those who stand with us, for in their loyalty, love, and support, they help us unlock the true greatness that lies within us. The relationships that truly matter, the ones that have deep roots, will withstand the test of time. These are the relationships where mutual respect, trust, and understanding form the foundation. When you are going through the toughest seasons, when you are facing your biggest challenges, it will become clear who has been planted in your life to stay. These are the people who won't leave when things get difficult, the ones who won't walk away when your weaknesses are exposed. They will stay because their purpose in your life is bigger than the temporary circumstances. These are the people who will weather the storms with you, who will stand by your side even when there's nothing left to gain. They are the ones who love you for who you are, not for what you have or what you can offer them. So when people leave, when relationships fade, or when promises are broken, understand that it is time doing its work. It is showing you the integrity of those around you, helping you see who truly deserves a place in your life and who is simply a visitor passing through. In the process of time, let it reveal who is truly meant to walk with you, and know that those who remain are the ones whose integrity matches their words.